Yeah, we gonna do a little something like this. Okay, here we go. Phenomenal, 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 feeling phenomenal. Yeah, I'm feeling phenomenal. Yeah, I'm feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal. Where did the time go? Too fast. Feel like I'm Sonic, bro. Feel like a weight just lifted. Page finally turned, my paradigm has shifted to a whole new attitude. What it do? You are tuned in to the coolest rapper in the room, but you. You the coolest person, consuming all my verses for better or for worse or worser. Put your hand on the cursor, it's only one click till you start to hear my hits that I worked real hard on, took long to start on. Hold on, let me start off by saying I used to be complaining about things I had no stake in. I should have been creating, so this joint right here is for lost time. Been out of touch, but my touch I never lost mine. It took everything I could find to combine, to incorporate a vibe that's making me feel alive. Phenomenal, 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 feeling phenomenal. Yeah, I'm feeling phenomenal. Yeah, I'm feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal. Where did the time go? Too fast. Feel like I'm Sonic, bro. You know everything is really moving. Yeah, we doing exactly what's expected. The right people's past intersected. Mind frame the same like a nexus. Won't be a next us to the next 100 years and by then we be on a whole another tier, reminiscing in the leer. No longer letting fear reappear. All we say is cheers, all we get is cheers. So the love is always clear, and I can see right through. And if I'm like you, well then you can see like too. You just gotta make that move and walk in it. If you believe it be a breeze, not long-winded. I know your tendencies, they tend to be authentic. So when you receive praise and exchange of names, I'm all stricken. I did it with my people, we all kicked in. That contribution has created forward movement. And for that, I am so grateful for everybody who has contributed, everybody who's put in their effort. Man, everything is gonna be phenomenal, 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 feeling phenomenal. That's cool. Yeah, I'm feeling phenomenal. Yeah, I'm feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal, feeling phenomenal. Where did the time go? Too fast. Feel like I'm Sonic, bro.
All right. Well, we're back. And that is the song known as Phenomenal by the artist Noreik Thascool from his album 1000. You guys should go ahead and check that out. But for those of you guys that are tuning in for the first time, it's your host, Famous Samus, aka an unidentified black male. And this is the Block is Hot podcast.
Oh, low horns.
Low horns, because people are mad about the fucking volume. Do you want me to do high horns? Want me to do high horns?
Do high horns. Fuck them.
Fucked up. You know, fuck it. Oh, damn. What? Oh, that was terrible.
Oh. There we go. We got some horns back on it.
And, well, it's good to be back. Again, I'm your host, Famous Samus, aka the Unidentified Black Male, aka your mother's last mistake, aka Soul Brother number 3, aka Pinky, aka... Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that last one. I can't remember the rest of my AKAs because we are indeed partaking. With me is my faithful co-host.
It's Tim Redhose, aka Tim the Hoon, aka George Hooney, aka Hoonius Rex, aka your mother's favorite brother. Wait, I forgot if that's mine or if that's yours. They get a little blurry. And of course, aka Young Timmy Bust Nuts. What's good, guys? It's been a long week. Has it been a long week for you guys? No.
And
maybe I'm just there.
To my right, we have go ahead and introduce yourself. You want an air horn?
I love what you guys are doing. This is great. What's up, y'all? This your boy Noreik Thascool. I am the special guest for tonight's episode, and I took over the block. It's super hot. but I'm about to make it cool. We gonna chill it out a little bit. We're gonna talk about some music, and we're gonna talk about some comic books and some conspiracies and all the fun shenanigans. I'm happy to be here with Famous Amos and Tim Red. These are my homies, man. So it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
That is true. It's gonna be a swell time on the block.
Been trying to get this hooked up for a while. Before
we go ahead and get into the shits, let's go ahead and get off with the comic book of the week. For my comic book of the week, I'm going with The Multiverse, the deluxe edition by Grant Morris. And for those of you out there who are not aware, and for our first time listeners, we do a comic book of the week. Each week we do a comic book of our choice coming from either Comixology or Kindle Unlimited, because they are kind of linked together. Available with Amazon Prime. So this is by Grant Morris. It's The Multiverse. I haven't even opened it or started scanning this shit, but it's here for those of you now looking to add us on video. And since we do have a special guest who is a brother of mine, I know he reads comic books.
I do. I love comic books, and I love just like the whole mythology around it, and I like it on multiple mediums, via video games or animated shows or movies or anything like that that's kind of around it. So it's pretty cool. And the comic book that I picked was Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe by Cullen Bunn. And if you haven't read that, it is a great what if story of just what if Deadpool snapped. A lot of people think that he already did, and to take it a step further and to just see it was like the perfect amount of exaggeration and imagination for my liking. So if you're into that kind of thing, I definitely suggest that you check that out. It's about 5 issues, I believe. It kind of, they rush to the end because it just, you could tell that as you're reading it, there's more opportunity to do so many different things. And like, if they would have kept it going, that could be like 100-page series of him just kind of going throughout the entire universe and the different ways how that happens. But anyway, you should definitely check it out. Super dope comic. What you think, Tim?
That was actually a really sick one. I read that one. I thought it was fucking awesome how they paired him up against the Wolverine.
It was great, bro.
I wish I knew you were going to say that ahead of time. I literally have the whole hard copy edition. Could have held them all up. I can actually loan them to you.
Oh, man. Shit. Yo, I need that, bro. You got the special edition one?
Yeah, I got the variants.
That's fire. Speaking of variants, like, Marvel's super fire for the hip hop variants that they have, bro.
Yes.
Like, my dream is to collect all of them. Like, it's crazy. I have a few, but I'm on the hunt. So if you're out there and you have a bunch, sell them to me.
Wait, what do you mean the Marvel hip hop variants,
bro?
I haven't.
They just do like dope. What? Yeah, they just do like dope hip hop covers.
Right, so
really,
Marvel is okay. Marvel, whoever, like, I don't know who the director is or the program director of whoever came up with that, but that person needs a raise because they paired like Marvel properties with iconic hip hop CD artwork. So like,
that's fucking sick,
bro. Like, they have a Miles Morales and Nas for Illmatic, like in front of like New York, bro. It's crazy.
That's fucking sick.
It's so dope. It's so dope. And like, they have like what was it? DMX's album, the one where he's covered in blood, but they had Wolverine instead.
Right,
I can't think of the name right now. Oh man, that's gonna kill me. I'll probably come back to it later on. But
blood is thicker than what? No, blood.
Something like that.
Oh, I don't remember.
Some hell. No, it's not hell is hot.
No. Okay. Blood is thicker than water. I think that's what it's called. Something like that, right?
Something like that. Anyway, we can research it and look it up, and we'll correct everybody. But yeah, it was really dope.
Y'all don't come to this podcast for accurate facts. You just come here for opinions and some wild ass conspiracies. We always tell you all, like, hey, if you're not fact checking this shit, like, nah, I don't know if we want you listening to this podcast.
Educate yourself. Double check for us. That's how we build dialogue and community.
But nah, bro. I mean, the Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe is definitely a great read. We highly suggest all of you guys get at that. The last, I'm not gonna lie, I think I ran into episodes. I think last week we did was Hell Week, but it's a new month. This is the first podcast for the month of June, and we're gonna be starting off with a new book. Do you remember the book we're gonna do, Tim?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna refresh your fucking memory. What we're gonna be doing is we're reading the book, get the cover back. There's a lot. Okay, it's called Trance. It's the Formation of America. The True Life Story of a CIA Mind Control Slave by Kathy O'Brien with Mark Phillips.
Wow.
It's a book that I saw on Kindle Unlimited. It was free for Amazon, so I went ahead and checked it out. I'm currently reading it right now. It's pretty interesting. I haven't did too much research on it, but still, it's a book, be well read on the topic of MK Ultra. For all I know, this could be some like bullshit propaganda book, but then again,
Who knows?
who knows? Yeah.
Hey,
Who knows, man?
hey, shoot me the link for that.
But it's free.
You just can't put it
I'm
past
gonna
them.
need that.
Can't put it past
You
them.
can't put it past them, and that's
No.
that's really what it is. Like, they aren't saying that they're guilty, but they're not defending themselves either, and that's what's scary, because it's like, damn, like, because you're not doing anything about it, I have to assume that you're the culprit. And that's like just a general blanket. That's just, in all aspects. Like, fam, if you don't have an alibi or you're not defending yourself, then you probably did it.
Yeah, that's most likely what it comes down
Most
to.
likely what happened, and that's that's what America does best. America does that best.
Well, before we go ahead and dive deep on into the inner workings of America and other types of conspiracies and things of that nature, we want to talk some music. Oh
man,
who are you?
Yeah, let's
we
get
don't
the
even,
music, bro.
We don't even know who you are. This is your first time being on the Block is Hot podcast.
It's crazy.
I mean, I know that you're my friend.
I know.
Definitely you've been a listener, but other
Man,
than that, explain to our listeners out there, our soon-to-be YouTube viewers that we greatly appreciate that are out there.
Shout out to YouTubers.
Who are you? Where you come from? What do you do?
I am Noreik, Thascool, and I am a rapper, and I come from Pomona, and I represent the IE, and I'm a speaker and an adventurer and someone who enjoys learning new things, and I feel like this is like a dating profile now. And I like long walks in the park, all that good shit. And I enjoy, as you know, because I kick it with you all the time, and we can get into backstories and everything like that. This is just a dope platform for us to come together and speak about these things that we've kind of talked about and thought about, and I'm very interested in the human mind and the human spirit, mostly, and how that works with our society and the way that things get brought up and done. So I've been listening to the Block is Hot podcast, and these guys, they talk about it all, and they ask the questions that I've asked myself, and had those discussions. So I was like, man, I got to come up on here, man. We got to talk about it. So it's dope because my music doesn't necessarily reflect all of the ills that are going on, but when we talk about what we talk about on this podcast, I think that people will have a better understanding when they listen to my project like 1000, and the things that I'm talking about, they're loosely tied to how our society runs and how to be a more positive conduit in that society, you know what I mean, and how to just kind of move a little bit better, and that's kind of how it relates to one another. So I'm super excited to have knowledgeable and reckless conversations with y'all, because
it's gonna be reckless.
it's the perfect combination of both, man. Fusion high.
Did you say Fusion High?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shout out to all my DBZ niggas.
All right, man. So I mean, it's good to hear.
Pouring.
Shout out to the Project 1000.
Hey,
But fuck, man, like
what's up?
I mean, that's cool. But I mean, how'd you start even like getting into this whole music realm in this world?
I started making music out of high school, and I was in a duo, and we were able to travel around the country and perform all over. And then I worked on a double EP that I released in 2016 called The Night Before and the Morning Of. And most recently I just dropped my project 1000, and you know, I just continue to make songs, and it's just been a part of my life. It's like 10 years deep now, man.
10 years deep. It's been
10
a
years
long time.
deep, bro. It's crazy. You know, there's so much that you learn in that time, and it's just been a blessing to be able to speak to people from all over, you know, different walks of life across America, and you know, different climates and classes, and it's just it gives you just a real sense of how many people are out here, you know, and how many people contribute to the things that we go through, and how many people are affected by it, you know.
Oh, definitely. Especially being an entertainer and,
Yes.
and a musician, you actually get to meet people as you travel and do that. Just like stand-up comedian, which of course Tim is.
Mm-hmm.
So
because both of them, they cause a person's guard to be down.
True.
You know what I mean? And then
Some
you
people
get
just
the
don't.
real them, and you can establish a real connection.
And I wanted to kind of have you talk to Tim, you know, maybe about him kind of getting out on the road and doing some of his stand-up, you know, traveling
Yeah,
around,
man.
you know.
That's always the plan, man. That's always the plan.
You know,
Definitely, bro.
taking on a little tour, a little road trip.
I think
little
we
trippy
can make
trip.
that happen, man. A little art and comedy tour, you know, and it's happening around, you know, and it's happening at more of a local level than ever before, you know, because I feel like the comedian game, sort of like the podcast game, is the new rap game. You know what I mean? It's like it's the same kind of startup rules apply, and as you get going, it's such an open space, and if you get going quick enough, you can now establish what you know, the status quo is gonna be. You know what I mean? So like we're gonna make that happen, bro. And then like as you add other things to your repertoire and you're hosting and like you're doing, you know, coming up with ways to do comedy shows and comedy specials, like we could do our own comedy special, bro. You're like, we don't need to have Netflix or anything like that. Like we could do that
True.
ourselves.
Very
So,
true.
That's very true.
you know, there's all kinds of ways in today's climate, and I'm just so excited to learn about them and to continue to thrive in this climate and continue to just give back to the hip hop culture, because it shaped all of this.
So do you self-produce, or do you have a team that you work with, or?
I don't self-produce. I do have a team that I work with. I have some amazing producers who trust me and who have lent me their talent and believe in me. And it's just amazing. Like producers like Chris Beach, he's out of Diamond Bar. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to Apollo. He's over in Michigan, but he's originally from the Bay Area. And we connected at the Dope Spot. So shout out to Dope Spot. That's a local studio that I used to record at. And Productive Culture, who I partner with, JMKM, is another producer and engineer. He masters all of my stuff. So when you listen to 1000 and everything, that's his work touching on it. And the homie Dom as well, from Productive Culture. So, you know, it's really like a team effort. You know what I mean? We all come together and we all play our roles, and we all add value where we can add value, you know? So shouts out to them. Shouts out to Brick to Your Face, you know, Noah James and them, Cam Gnarly, and shouts out to Serious Cartoons Records and Tapes over in San Bernardino. Those are my people as well, you know. Shout out Phantom Thread, Gilead 7. You know, we're out here, man. You know, we're out in the IE, and a lot of people don't recognize it the way that it needs to be recognized. But we got some real, you know, hit makers out here. You know what I mean? We have some real people with talent, and we just need the different types of support and the different types of people involved in different areas other than the artistry to like help elevate it to a point where we can get a light on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, right now when you think of SoCal, you think mainly just of Los Angeles, but there's actually greater talent within the other sub-cities, whether it be a San Bernardino area, whether it be
Totally.
the areas of
OC.
Riverside,
You know,
OC, Orange
Riverside.
County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, everybody
Definitely.
goes for LA, and I understand because LA is huge, and like that's like where a lot of things are happening. But like we travel to LA, and for LA people to travel to us, it's the same distance, but they don't do it. You know, so like that, like there's a reason for that, and I feel like the reason is that, you know, we don't have some of the other things necessary, like some of the venues staying open late and being safe. And just being cracking and overall cool, and venue owners being easy to work with to do shows. And I understand, because with hip hop shows, it's like you guys have been to hip hop shows where they're just not cracking.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
People are rowdy. They're not really talented. They're not really taking it seriously. And then venue owners, they either lose money or they lose their patience or, you know, they lose a fight or something. You know,
I think it's like right on par of like patience and losing money. Like, why am I here?
Yeah, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? You know,
these motherfuckers aren't even buying. They're getting drunk in the parking lot.
So they just default to either they know people are gonna come and drink more than people are gonna listen to music if you're not around people who make good music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So because they think that, they're like, I'll cut all this music off. I'll put a playlist on. People will listen to their favorite things, and we'll call it that. And that sucks because now that cuts out all of these people who are coming up who want to make music for their community, you know, who want to put their stuff out there. And at the same time, these artists have to come correct. Like, you can't come, you know, with some bullshit, like, and not understand that you are a performer and you're privileged to have this space and you're privileged to have this platform, you know? It's so... I come from the cloth that, like, yo, you put into the community, everyone works together, we can make this thing happen. So I continue to champion that, and I surround myself with other people who champion that as well. And, you know, we're gonna make it happen, man, one way or another.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna make that happen. So
yeah. Hey, I'm all the way down to support Pomona.
I feel like it's definitely like very like even though it's like hip hop, it's like very similar for like the comedy scene too. It's like you just gotta keep on putting that grind and like helping the community grow as a whole, and like that's what really like helps out the most.
Yeah,
because I feel like from there, like you do like transform and you're able to put on more shows.
Yeah,
and if you're saying how like everybody goes to LA to do shows and LA doesn't come out here to do shows, it's because it's like there's not the same abundance of things going on over here as out there. Like over there you could find 3 different spots in one night.
Yeah,
just for your craft, you know. We
don't have enough venues, or we have a bunch of venues, but none of them support performances,
and they're not as consistent.
A lot of them are like art galleries, which are dope because like a lot of, you know, we have a lot of eclectic people making music now, so utilizing an art gallery is nothing. You know, you could turn that into a place that is just dope and artistic, and you'd want to hear some real original music. I just feel like a lot of venue owners need to make their presence known, you know, need to be like out more and out in front of their businesses and like willing to like, you know, shout out community leaders who make music, you know, and just like people who make music and try and make that happen. Same thing with the comedy. Like, you're right. That's why comedy is a new come up, you know, and same thing with podcasting. Like, you guys can definitely do this live, you know, at DBA.
Yeah,
for sure. You can just set up this table, have this live, have people out in the crowd, and you could just do it live, and we'll have the same conversation, but just in front of people, and you know, it'll be a little bit cooler.
I got a question. Do you think when like venue owners like actually get more involved with the scene, like that's what really helps make that scene thrive that much more?
Yes. The trust that a venue owner can put into an artist's craft, even if they don't put money, if they just do it to the point where they feel comfortable with, they can allow this person to be as creative as possible and know that they'll respect their space that they're providing them, man, some of the craziest things can happen out of that, you know. And it's one of those things where like you'll be in the story, you know, the venue owner will be in the story. Like whenever they do the documentary and they look back at it, it will be like, I linked up with him, I was able to do this residency here, and this is what blew it up. Next thing you know, 500 people are here, and I'm looking at him, and it's cha-ching, and it's good music, and it's good vibe, you know, like that can definitely happen. And I feel like we kind of lost that. Like DBA is really one of the only venues that is prepped to support us in a significant way. You know what I mean? They have the
and
lights,
that place is cracking.
Yeah, like it can turn out, man. They've had some great shows, and then you have like Glass House, and you have the Fox Theater and things like that. But they're run in such a way that it's more of like an LA club, so it's more of LA club politics that get into it, you know. And it's like that's not what creatives need. Like we don't need LA club politics, showcases, 10-minute, you're on at 12:15 a.m. to 6 people. Like that's cool when you're getting your, you know, your feet wet and you're learning, and like, yeah, that's like, you definitely have to go through that. I feel like any artist that's coming up, you got to go through the times when nobody's at your show, you know, and the promoter played you and everything, because like, you know, it builds character, like it builds, and you understand how people work. You know, it's better to get exposed to that at this level where it kind of doesn't really matter. Like, you know, it's 6 people's minds, like change them. You know what I mean? If you're a dope artist, change their mind. Like, change their mind about this whole event and why you're booked, you know. And if you can't do that, that's fine, because like it's 6 people, but you know, you never know where that will lead, but that's a separate conversation. You know, like, so as it goes on, you know, you have to pay your dues, basically. But at the same time, there should be a path, there should be a nice, well lit chart of the ascension of how you move within your community. You know what I mean? Definitely. There's like, we all know, all right, the Glass House is one of the premier venues, and the Fox Theater is one of the premier venues. So like, that's, you'd want to pack out that stage and like play in your city. You know, that's like, they have the best sound, they have the, you know, the whole thing, the whole setup. You could tour there. A bunch of famous people tour those venues, so that's dope. And I feel like a local artist should know that they can play there before they play elsewhere. You know what I mean? Before they play in like a different place, they should know that like, yo, if I work hard, I can definitely play there. I feel you. You know, but usually what the case is that unless you develop the relationship with that person, hopefully you guys connect. If you guys don't connect and he doesn't support the community as a whole, then he's only going to support the people that he connects with, and like, that's fine for them. But I'm just trying to think of more community based, you know, like being like understanding your place there, you know. And you should be able to be like, yo, I performed at DBA, I performed at the DA, I performed at Green Room, I performed at Metro Ale House. Cool. Elevated a little bit. I've done a Sarigami, I've done Flyway, you know, the rooftop. That should be available for you, you know. But a lot of times that jump is rooted in other things other than providing great music to the community, which is fine, because if that's your business, then that's your business. I just hope for better. I'm just trying to figure out solutions for our community, you know what I mean, and for our musicians. So like, I feel like venue owners, artists, and political figures in the community, mayors and art cultural, you know, the people on those boards and things like that, we all have to know each other. We all have to like attend each other's things. Like, I would love for, you know, people in politics to come out to DBA and see the music of the people that are like in their city. You know what I mean? You don't really see that.
Yeah, I feel like you'll never see that. I feel like there's some places that like are down, but like that needs to be more common throughout all places, definitely.
And I feel like Pomona especially is such a musical town. It could be closer musically, but like, we have people that think that it should be artistic and very free flowing and very like, you know, community based, and then we have people that think it should be like LA, you know, because we're still in LA County. They're just like, you know, we should be running this like LA clubs and like LA prices, and everything's inflated, and it's like, bro, like, I'm using this room, and like, you don't have to do nothing.
Exactly.
You literally just have to sit here. I will staff who I need to staff. I will provide, you know, if you have a PA, that just makes it even better, because then now I don't have to bring speakers and things like that, but that can be arranged.
But they're still like, nah, you got to pay certain prices, man. And it's like, why?
And it's cool, you know, because it's your business. Like, I get it, but you have to understand the long-term value here is that if you invest in your community, then you'll know who to back. You know, you'll know who will return that investment, who has the potential to return that investment for you, and who will like blow it up into something that's even bigger, and something that you'll be proud of, because you'll see them ascend to wonderful heights, and you'll be like, yo, I was a part of that. Like, you know, because he threw that show. I remember 300 people were there, and this person was there that talked to him, and now they're managers or booking agents or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like you're a part of that, and I think that that's really dope. I think that that's a dope story. I feel like a lot of the artists that come out of Pomona deserve that story, you know, and deserve to make it like that. And I just think it'll bring our community closer.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna lie, I agree. That actually makes a lot more sense. It would actually be able to bring a lot more local talent into their inner communities. Yeah,
it'll be a little bit more controlled, and then the message can be controlled. You know, because you want to make sure that that if you don't have to wild out, that you're in a safe space to conduct your energy.
Now, I want to get your personal opinion then. I mean, not to cut you off, but
No, you're cool.
also just to kind of segue into a story that I was reading about. And this is about the late, great Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, man.
And
Rest in peace, man.
apparently it's a legal issue about the name The Marathon Continues. And Black Sam filed for copyright ownership, and of course, as he should get the right, that's his it's his brother.
Totally.
He's the one that should be the one to carry on The Marathon Continues legacy and make sure that it's taken care of in the right hands, because if he had married Lauren London before his passing, she would be the one who's probably taken over, and then also giving it to basically him, like, yo, like, you're gonna be on board with this. But the trippy thing is that the Crips actually filed for copyright ownership of it. So
like the entire Crip organization.
Yeah, the Crips LLC, like, because hey, it's 2019. Everyone's getting legal paper like that.
And they did that before Black Sam, or is that just like, oh, we're gonna try and
I believe
do that?
It was 12 days before Black Sam did it. So it's going through, but I think with all the support that's going out for Nipsey, they're gonna be like, nah, fam. Like, I just feel like they're gonna probably like look the other way on this one. Like, they don't want that blah. Hey, we didn't get your paperwork. Sorry, fam.
Well,
like,
it's hard because when and you guys have seen it, and this is real world here. This like really happened. But when you have a king that gets toppled, what happens is Game of Thrones. It doesn't matter.
You leave a void.
There are some people who are, even if it's not like aggressive or like malicious, they're still moving within self-interest.
The Hydra head always grows back.
You know what I mean? So like the people.
Wait, what?
The Hydra head always grows back.
Not to cut you off. Wait, say that. Like, what?
He said, "Hold up. Wait, explain yourself."
I don't know.
What
like,
did that mean?
It's like the heads of a Hydra. Like, everybody always.
But he's one man.
Well, like, I don't know. It wasn't supposed to. I guess it sounded bad.
Yeah, that's what.
No, I'm gonna say, like, yo, yeah, he died. Somebody's going to take the mantle. The head of a Hydra always comes back.
Okay, all right. No, I see what he's saying.
I'm gonna try to roll with this, but I hope that one of our blockheads out there can like DM him or tweet it's Tim Redhose and see why the fuck that made sense. But continue.
Yeah, man. So it's
head of a Hydra.
I think that the people, just like in Game of Thrones, the people wanted Jon Snow to be king, and
King of the North.
I think that the people, not to diminish it in the seriousness of what's actually going on, but I think that the people see Black Sam as, yo, you've been running with your brother. Like, that story of your brother taking over what you left is like what sits well with everybody. Everybody in their spirit kind of sees Black Sam and is like, bro, like, you're the one. And Black Sam, I mean, I don't know if he wants to be the one. I don't know if he's still, just kind of deciding about that, because this is like a turning point in his life, you know what I mean, where he can make a decision to either stay the course or to shift and pivot. And nah,
I think he's probably 100% like.
I agree. I'm just talking about like the possibilities. I want to believe in Black Sam and Lauren and the family and them, like,
I just think they were
staying
mourning
together.
and they weren't thinking like that. Their head wasn't in that space of let me make sure I trademark this thing because you know it's a state of mourning. But then other people, you know, the wolves are out there.
Yeah,
you know,
that shit's fucked.
And there are people who feel like that their relationship with him was like realer than their blood relationship that they have, so they make decisions based on that.
That too, but it's kind of like if you were gonna see, like, it's not like to save a sinking ship, but it's like to save, like, let's just say on like some video game shit, fucking it was like some Kingdom Hearts shit, like fading away. Like if you can save it before, like, because remember, it's just like, unfortunately, this is still an early wound that's healing.
It's only been 2 months.
Yeah, but if there's a way to save it before it's just gone, and it's like, it's just like, he's like, no, someone's like, I'm going to claim it to make sure that I have it. But unfortunately, some people might claim it for ill-gotten gains. Because, like, because, you know, if I wanted to say on the most optimistic side, what if they panicked because Black Sam didn't file for it fast enough? I was like, whoa, no one's filed for it. Like, we got to make sure at least the Crips own it, and then maybe they give it to Sam. That'd be like the best way.
That's the thing, like because there's so much behind the scenes. There's so much going on with family, and like when you have a gang that's like a organization and an operation. There's so much going on, and we don't know the depth of it, but it just seems like everyone is kind of pulling for their own piece with, I'm hoping with Nipsey in mind, you know, and just trying to carry the legacy, but not everybody is equipped to do it successfully. So I just hope that the majority of things is with Black Sam and the family, and like whatever's used elsewhere, as long as it uplifts Nipsey, I'm with that. But like, I don't want somebody who just doesn't know how to run a business or doesn't know how to like do it legitimately or take it to the heights that it needs to be taken, getting control of it, because then that's when we lose, you know. That's when it's like, so I don't know who that is because I don't know the business, but like whoever that is, I'm hoping is Black Sam, but whoever that is, like, take care of it.
What if it's a bunch of white kids?
That's what I'm saying. I'd be damned if it was like a Mark Scarelli type of nigga that got the trademark. I'd be like, nah, fuck that shit, fam. Like, nah,
I'd
like,
be pissed.
I'd be hot.
I'm so glad that is he in jail, Martin?
It doesn't matter.
Well,
that's just an example, like that type of villainous kind of character. Like anyone who was like that, they got the rights of
villain,
it.
Man.
Yeah, he's a villain.
He's a villain for sure, like a real one.
No, hey, straight
like
up, no, straight up. Drake's a villain.
Who?
Drake's a villain.
Oh, Drake.
Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Do you remember Scorpio from The Simpsons? Homer's boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Drake. When I saw this nigga, when I saw this nigga unveil the jet, I was like, "Oh, okay, like Drake, you're a villain."
And then he got for free.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like Drake is a villain and has power. Like, and people don't want to admit it, but Drake, I'm telling you, Drake is a villain. Like, because the thing is, because you know what it is.
I get where he's coming from.
Because you know it's like
it's scary hours, bro.
A good guy, like I'm not gonna like, a good guy is just a good guy without being a good guy. Like Drake has to like try to be a good guy. Like that's what I'm saying.
You mean his petty is his default? Like he just has a natural villainy, like a natural like a mischievous nature of him. So like he has to pretend to be good. I'm just telling
you, if I've seen every Bond movie, which I have, if I have seen all these movies, he would be the nigga in The Kingsman, Samuel Jackson's character. Like he's soft as shit, but he's still evil. He'll kill your ass. Like I'm telling you, Drake is a super villain, and y'all don't want to admit it in this public eye, but I'm just telling you, watch out.
There's a reason, bro. Like he's gotten checked by everybody, and like, you know, Diddy slapped him in 2014, but like I don't think that's happening anymore. You know what I mean? I think he kind of, you know, he gained a lot of power, man. So I don't think that's happening.
Drake,
it's crazy to think about. You know what I wish, man? Like it's you can't really do it because these are people's lives and these are people, you know, these are real people and like their livelihood. But like the characters that they've created and like that the public have helped create, I wish we can throw in an anime, you know, like in just a real like you know, just a real adult anime, something that's just like epic. You know what I mean? Because yeah, Drake would be a villain for sure. Like that reveal would be insane. You know what I mean? When you did everything for him, and you're going through, and then all of a sudden you seen Berserk.
Oh,
Think about that with Drake.
you know we got to get into it. You know we got to get into
No,
it.
we don't. No, we don't.
You know we got to
That's
get
a
into
horrible
it
anime.
because
If
we
you've seen
were gonna ask you
Cool.
what are some of your
That
favorite
is the
anime?
darkest-
Because the
gosh.
Berserk is on the list.
That went dark.
Berserk is on the list.
That shit
Berserk
went
is not on
dark.
the list. If you've seen it already, cool.
That shit's
If you haven't
dark.
seen it already, I don't
don't
recommend
need
it.
I remember.
Not because it's not good, but just it is disturbing.
I think we
It's
talked
disturbing.
about Berserk with JT.
I worked with
Shout out
some
to JT,
that,
the
like,
voice.
that like they heard about like
greatest
what
voice.
the ending was, and he's like, "No, I'm just not gonna watch it."
Yeah. I
was
mean,
like,
if
yeah.
you are gonna watch it, don't let anyone spoil it for you because like my heart was ripped out of my chest. Like I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear it. I couldn't
showed-
bear it.
Bro,
I showed Tim and he was so mad. He was
I
like,
tripped out that like that show went off air for like 16 years, and during that time, people died.
Yeah, that's
And, like,
crazy.
that was the last
crazy.
episode they saw, and they're like, "Wait, Berserk never got revenge."
Yeah.
Bruh.
And then like they just died. They killed
Yeah.
over. They don't know what's to come.
It was the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers.
for 16 years.
Yeah, but it's not on my list, so I don't want to talk about it like it's on my list. It's not on my list of favorite ones, but it is one to watch.
it's on like your probably top 10 shocking.
That ending
Yeah,
is
it's
the
on
one,
my most shocking for sure.
Yeah, that ending is probably the one reason why it's not going to make it on your favorite list. because
Yeah,
it's
it's
dark,
not gonna
it's
happen.
fucked
That's not
up.
gonna happen. But top animes. Well, definitely, I just want to shout out, just for the mainstream because everybody's gonna trip. But Dragon Ball Z is up there. I mean, how can you not? How can you not? Super Saiyans, it's fire. Like Namekians, it's fire.
I agree.
fire.
I totally agree.
But just to get into more of just like the cool shit, Samurai 7 is definitely a dope anime. It follows a group of samurai. They're all different, and they all kind of encounter one another under different circumstances, and they all work together to fulfill this mission. But like all of them are kind of Ronin, so like it's really tight. It just kind of shows camaraderie, and it shows difference, and like it's epic sword fights. You can't get much better than
Robotic
that.
Samurai, I mean the steampunk samurai. It was dope.
Yeah, it's really tight.
That was
really
back on Netflix when Netflix was fire.
when Netflix was fire.
Netflix used to be fire back in the day.
You know what you have to bring up though?
Bro,
Which one?
Samurai Champloo, bro.
Oh, that's another one. That's another fire one.
Man, Samurai Champloo, man. Shout out Doobies, man.
Yeah,
That's like rest in peace, man. Like
Rest in
that's
peace.
what a great contribution to hip hop.
it's probably the best scored anime
Yeah.
of all time. Probably.
Yeah, it's up there, man. It's up there for
in
sure.
my opinion. Like as far as hip hop, like because I mean, even like the RZA, he did fucking Afro Samurai, but
Samurai.
nah, it just doesn't compare.
Nah. Nujabes just killed it, and like it's funny, like I don't know where it originated, where hip hop and anime go so well together. But I love it though. Like it's like black culture and Japanese culture go so well together.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it has something to do with the values, and like I feel like it also is the recognition of spirit, because a lot of animes deal with chi and deal with spirit, and I think we as black people resonate with spirit, because like our ancestors have had their minds and their bodies broken, and it's like all they had was their spirit in order to go through. So like our connection to spirit is like really, really strong and really deep, and that's used for exploitation, and that's also just a fact that allows us to do the magic shit that y'all like are just amazed by. It's because we're connected in our spirit, and like we use all three, and that's the difference. So that's just a pro tip to everyone else who's watching or listening to this. Black magic, yeah, all three, everything together.
Yeah, it works a little like photosynthesis.
Yeah, it works well. The melanin, it helps, energizes. But it's Samurai Champloo's up there. But yeah, I was always fascinated with just hip hop and anime put together, and the rhythm of it is just so dope. and I think it resonates with a lot of people. So like, you know, Afro Samurai's up there, but also like a super hard rock song at the beginning of an anime, you know, bro, fame. You know that we used to talk about, bro, One Punch Man, like it's fire.
Yes.
There's a lot of animes that the intro, you could tell already, like off the intro, it's like, oh man, this is gonna be great. It's just like epic, and they got operas, and they got organs, and they got like strings, and like it's just like, yeah, for sure.
Hold on, just
Ready
for the
to go.
viewers that don't know.
Oh man, play it. You gonna play it? Oh, this is like a remix.
Oh wait, we don't know if these singers.
Yeah, man, well done. It's just fire. Oh yeah. This is when you know that the anime is gonna be dope.
Yeah, if you ever hear this coming
You
up
ever
for
hear
an
this?
anime,
Yes.
like, get your popcorn ready.
Yeah. Put the recliner back.
You got a
Chill.
minute and 30 seconds.
For real.
I noticed all anime openings are a minute and 30 seconds.
Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Hey, that's good to know. That's pretty tight.
American shows have like 30 seconds, like Rugrats and shit like that.
Yeah. You know, I am gonna put an American anime just to segue off of American. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's an anime technically.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's
Yes.
an anime,
Are
bro.
you- are you-
Yes, it is.
Legend of Korra, bro. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, Legend of Korra is tight, man. But the OG like Aang story is just. If you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's out on Blu-ray. Like, just watch all of those
We got
seasons
played.
and then get back to me.
Yeah, there's no.
There was
vocal in
no
that.
vocals in that.
I noticed that.
I realized that after I was like, fuck.
I mean, you can't. Oh yeah, there's no way to isolate it because you're doing it on one track, huh?
Oh, for those of you that are watching this and probably listening, I am not a fucking audio engineer by any means of any. So I mean, if you want to come and mix this shit for free, go ahead. But like,
You
don't
gotta do a 2-track, man.
nigga. You know me. Don't look at me and talk about no technical ass shit. Dude, what nigga? What the fuck?
Hey man, it's your world, bro. I'm just trying to be living in it, man. My bad.
I appreciate you. Love you like a brother, but you know I don't know no shit like that.
I'm just trying to, you know, I saw the pothole on the block. I was just trying to feel it.
Hey. But nah. All jokes aside, nah, man. I know.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. If you
We'll
guys
learn it one
didn't
day.
hear what I was saying, it's okay. It don't matter.
Why
It
don't you
matter.
explain
We're
to the
just
people
talking
out there that
about-
might be tech savvy?
What? Oh
Why
well,
would you-
you know, we're basically just recording on a one track.
Oh,
so-
don't say that. Never mind.
Oh, all right. We gonna edit that out. Hold on.
Yeah.
And action.
All right, yeah. So I mean, I also like, I like Naruto. It's cool. I know that's a hot take. A lot of people gonna kill me for that, but like, it's cool. It was just real long for me, and like my interpretation of a ninja wasn't necessarily what they were showing me, and like that's on me. But I totally respect it for being like, you know, a very long anime and very thought out, and there are people who like kind of grown with it, like how I've grown with other ones. So like, I don't bash it, but like, it's not really my thing personally. But Gun X Sword,
Yes.
that's my thing.
That is the shit.
My man Vaughn, my man Ray,
Oh,
mechs, sword fights. It's crazy.
it's probably like that. That low key might be like, it's interchangeable
So
within my
fire.
top 3 always. And it's for those of you guys that haven't ever watched Gun X Sword, picture a reverse Kill Bill. So basically, it's like
Kill
instead
Bill's
of it being a
good-
female, it's a male. And
There's robots.
but the thing is though, the like the person that's supposed to be a villain might actually be a good guy.
It's up to interpretation.
It's so much up to interpretation.
They do it in a way. The villain is so well done, almost like a Victor Von Doom. You know, like how Doctor Doom is kind of like he's beloved by his people. You know, he has a kingdom that he takes care of. He's technically not a villain to the public, but he is though.
might be
You
like
know,
an
like
anti-
everybody knows that he is.
Would
though.
he be an anti-hero technically?
Nah,
No,
fam,
he-
he's a super
I
villain.
He's a super
Actually, I
villain.
think
He's a
he's-
super
he's a
villain.
yeah,
Is it-
Tim, he's a super
A
villain.
real
no,
one,
as
like
of-
a
as
real
of-
No,
one.
he's a legit super
Yeah, he's
villain.
a
Yeah.
real one,
Now I
yeah.
think about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dog Doom super
No,
villain.
as of recently, isn't he written as
An anti-hero?
As an actual anti-hero?
might-
I
No,
believe
might
so.
have
I
been
think he got like the Iron Man suit for a little while, and then like it kind of he did some like hero work, kind of like what they did with Norman Osborn and the Patriot. That kind of like you know, but
I
he's
agree.
not really a hero, but he's doing stuff because you know
Yeah.
you got to do it for the public.
But
Do you? Oh, wait, hold on.
No.
I want to bring up one more.
wait, before you touch on that though, the whole idea of the anti-hero, doesn't that mean that he's not necessarily killing the innocent, but it's just not, he's like not in agreement with the mainstream, like, because like Blade's an anti-hero type of thing.
Yeah, motherfuckers die. Motherfuckers
but
die.
like-
Go on, Tim. No, good.
Or like Red Hood.
Yeah, that's what, so.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page. That's why before we,
Punisher.
because I just didn't want to dismiss him that easy. Like,
Oh no,
anti-hero.
like I mean I feel you, but like he has like okay, so all the anti-heroes that we're talking about, aside from Blade, who's half mortal, most of them are like mortal. You know what I mean? Like they carry guns, they carry swords, and they do those, you know, like which is dope, you know, because they use the
guns
weapons
part.
and they use martial arts. But like when you're dabbling in powers, and you got sorcery, and you got things like that, I think you're a villain. I don't think you're anti-hero at that point. As I said that though, I thought of Constantine.
Yeah.
And that's like the only, but he's an anti-hero though.
What about Spawn?
Well, Spawn is actually a pretty.
I mean,
he's an
it's all a
anti-hero,
matter of
yeah.
perspective, because if you have something that's eviler than you that you're taking care of, look at Hellboy.
Have you? Oh, dude, have you read the Hellraiser comic?
I haven't. Is it dope?
Yeah. Oh, it's fire.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. So basically, have you ever seen the first and second Hellraiser movies?
I haven't. I don't watch horror movies.
It's
like
okay. So, are you into? Do you enjoy or are you into Lovecraftian or cosmic horror?
That. Nah.
Oh, then dude.
Not well. I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I kind of stay away from horror because usually horror involves people just making mistakes and then you know they die because of their mistakes. And I personally just don't like watching people make mistakes on purpose. Like I'll be yelling at the TV and everything. So like,
Oh, bro, I get that.
I just
Yeah.
stay away from all that kind of stuff.
Dude, it's like a training manual for life. Like, don't make these mistakes.
That scenario won't happen like that because the slowing down of the show and like of the timing of the movie is not the real time of you running away from a mass murderer.
Especially somebody
So-
that's walking.
Not to sidetrack.
Fam, you know how fast you're gonna be running? Like I don't think you understand how fast
And
you're
then,
running.
then they all go like,
I'm actually curious for Tim's opinion on this too, because I think Tim might, I think Tim might be down. You eat ass. So check this.
"What are we doing here?"
So in the Hellraiser series, if you ever watched the first one and the second one, basically the first one, this girl Christy Cotton, her family gets murked. Second one, she gets into a psych hospital. She's crazy, and this little girl, Tiffany, she solves the puzzle that opens up the door to hell. She rescues her. In this comic book series, that Clive Barker actually came back out of retirement to like write and shit and basically be a part of after they made Abomination sequels after the second one. So only the first two are the only good ones.
See, that's what happens when you don't keep the creator
Yep,
involved.
exactly. But in this one, the hero of the first one, Kirsty Cotton, basically becomes the new like head torturer of hell in order to save the world from Armageddon and damnation. So she damns her soul to hell basically in order to save the world from the apocalypse. And there's a whole series. Tim, I really want you to
I
read
got a
this
question
book.
though.
No, I don't.
I
want
got a question.
Your question can be answered if you ruin. If you, I might something. I want you to read it.
Okay, yeah, sure. But I got a question. If she damned her soul to hell, then isn't that like the ultimate sacrifice, and shouldn't she go to heaven?
Nah,
It doesn't work like that.
it doesn't work like that because
That's-
Well, yeah,
the thing is,
because there's obviously something binding you there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't just like once you become like the head ring torturer of hell. It's like no, you have to. And Pinhead basically makes a deal with the Leviathan, which is like the devil in this universe, which is multiple hells, but this is just like a certain type of hell, and he tries to get his humanity to gain salvation to get in heaven.
Dog.
But it's really a double cross.
Dog,
And
the last
all I'm saying
time-
is, read this comic book, niggas. Read it. It's so fucking good. It's cosmic horror on a whole nother level. But I'm just, before we get sidetracked, it all came back to the idea of, would you be the anti-hero? Because she'd be considered an anti-hero because like you're a hell demon.
I
a
don't
martyr.
feel like you should read these books every
Oh.
time. Every time Paul gives me like a satanic book to read, I always end up having like word dreams and shit. And motherfuckers start cursing.
That's what
me.
I'm saying, man. It's very real, man.
Bruh,
You gotta
be-
be careful what you let in your soul.
Man, you got to be prayed up, fam. That's all it is.
You better be
Have your
beyond
conscience right.
protected. You better be beyond protected. If you know the right protection, use that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I read this shit, and
I'm
it's
gonna
a
get
train.
a silver
Hey,
sword.
yo, let's just say
Hey, man, get ready to slay him.
if we ever went to like the Aztec jungles, or like
Oh,
we
shit.
went to some place where we saw a hidden ancient temple for the first time, I'm not going inside.
Yeah.
I'm about to
No,
be like,
not at
yo,
all.
I'll take a picture and then head right
For
back.
sure.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to go explore this temple
Nope.
that no one's ever
Nope.
explored? Nah, fam, I've seen that movie. Plants grow out of you. Like,
The only way is if I was like being supernaturally compelled.
That means
no,
I
that's like a definitely no.
Yeah,
like,
I
what?
don't want to
Like-
follow you.
No,
Yeah.
no, but like you're compelled though. You can't. Like you're just like, yo,
Like-
I'm drawn to this.
like
Oh,
fate-
that doesn't
fate-
count then. That's not
fate
like you
wills it.
wanted to go. That's just
Yeah.
you being
Fate
compelled.
wills you go
and
down.
then the best you could hope for is you're getting powers.
Whoa. Okay, wait. What if like you
That's
made a
the
movie
best you can
about
hope
that?
for, and you hope that those powers don't hurt, and you hope that those powers don't turn your outside into something different.
Oh, so
Yeah,
wait,
that
wait,
would
wait.
suck.
Are you saying I'm gonna turn into an Aztec hero warrior like God?
Yeah, but like if
How'd
you
you
had
turn into
horns, you're
God?
not gonna like it.
Well, he said if I'm being compelled by a supernatural force to walk into a temple, I'm assuming I'm being turned into
Or
like
or
like an
whoever
Aztec
is-
warrior.
I'm assuming that
That-
too.
that's what I mean.
I'm assuming that too. I hope I'm not walking to my death.
Like I said,
What
like,
if it's the temple of the jaguar and turns into like a giant jaguar man?
See, if I'm a half jaguar man, that's unfortunate because I'm gonna have to still be in the jungle. You know, I'm gonna have to stay there. Like, yeah, I'll have all this
yeah.
power, but like, I'm gonna just have to
society's
be
not
there.
gonna accept.
Nah,
They're
they're
not gonna accept you.
Yes.
No, and if I'm not invulnerable to a nuke, then I can't. You know, like I'll endanger my family, I'll endanger other people. So like that sucks. But if it doesn't change my outside, if I can go back into society without a problem, that's low key more important than it hurting. But it hurting is up there too, because you don't want a power that like just hurts constantly.
That
or
would
hurts
make
your
you like
body.
an animal.
You're imbued with the powers of a jaguar. How about that?
And I could turn into a jaguar man whenever I want.
No. Like you're just like, all right. So like how there's Black Panther.
Okay.
You're like the Black Jaguar.
But I'm Black Jaguar.
Yeah.
The Black Jaguar is a real thing. But
Yeah.
like if
Man, I feel like
I'd be
the
super
Black
down.
Jaguar would get fucked up by the Black Panther. That just sounds like a poor
No,
shitty
dude, I
knockoff
actually
character.
low key.
yeah, that's what Killmonger turned into at the end of the
Black
movie.
Jaguar.
Yeah, man. It was like, you know, they were just doing all the doppelganger
Okay,
stuff.
what about the Black Tiger?
I mean,
Nigga, Animorphs.
Okay, so-
they need to bring that show back.
I've given this a lot of thought, man. The way that I feel about it is that if I have a power and it can protect me from nukes or chemical or like some sort of chemical attack or disease, then I could be a
cockroach, my
superhero.
nigga?
So nothing short of immortality.
No, not necessarily. Like I can, like if I can get penetrated or stabbed or something like that, like that's fine. But like if I can just survive a nuke, then I feel like I could be a superhero. If you can't survive a nuke, any one of these governments could fire a missile on you and it's alright.
Is it a
Okay,
topside
I
or
got-
is it
I
a
got
submersive
something.
nuke?
See,
Or is it underground nuke?
I
Bro,
got
it could be a
something.
rat.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. Because I
I
mean,
got-
if it's
I think I
underwater,
got a good power. Okay, immortality. Like you could choose when you die. Like when you're finally tired of it, like you could kill yourself. But up until that, if you had the power of immortality, where you feel all the pain of all this shit, but you will survive any
survive
and
it?
everything.
that's Wolverine. My
Are you
nigga.
gonna heal, or is it just gonna be busted?
No, yeah, you come back. Like even if like your head gets chopped off, like you can still be like a head.
So like
Kinda
Deadpool.
like essentially, but like the body part won't grow another you. It's like okay, maybe like it weathers away and then you just grow back out yourself. Like Jesus fuck.
Oh man.
But you feel the pain.
Yeah.
And you die for a little bit. Like
Would it be
you
like
die for
Kenny then?
5
So
like
From South Park?
Yeah, it's like a
Not a whole day.
PCU. A PCU like goes away, and like I would be okay with it, I guess. I think you just like embrace the pain after a while, and like I don't think I'd be putting myself in positions where like I'll get my arm and my head chopped off.
Would you go full superhero though?
No, I don't think you can go full superhero. I think you can be vigilante.
Like
you could be vigilante.
You could survive the universe blowing up. Like you.
Okay.
That's
Okay, if you're
how
at that level.
That's how immortal you are.
Well then, yeah. All I gotta learn is just martial arts and like use a gun. Really, all I gotta do is just like be an expert.
Well, then you gotta become the
expert
Punisher.
marksman. Yeah, yeah. If I'm immortal, then I'll probably end up using a weapon.
And that one day.
Unless I could shoot energy out of my hands, then that's a different story. But honestly, like I'd rather just have a power that like is more defensive than offensive.
They're like
or offensive,
like
basically.
Gara's secret sand.
Yeah, like if I have
Like
force
that.
fields, or like
Yeah.
if I can like teleport, or if I could
Teleporting, yeah.
adapt to like certain things or like different things like that, like I prefer that than to be like, yo, I can shoot fire out my hands, or like
I feel you. I feel you.
having super speed would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just, being able to fly would be the best.
Fly
with super strength.
no,
Why not?
Nope.
Why?
Because the
fly
minute
everywhere.
you fly at however miles per hour you think that you're going into that wall and you bust your neck, it's a wrap.
That's the thing. Like,
You'd have to
super
be
strength.
You have to be in like.
why do you think I'm gonna crash?
Bro, you're flying.
What if I'm cruising at 35?
What if you
I'm in traffic, just cruising.
What if you pass out? Yeah, that's
You
not
could
enough.
smack, bro. You could smack a plane.
Why do you think
You
I'm
can
going
hit a
there?
bird. You can hit a bird.
Planes go at 10,000 feet. They go at 20,000 feet. They go at 30,000 feet.
I'll be at 20.
I don't think you know. I don't think you can eyeball 10,000 feet.
I'll be
so
at,
you
no,
might
no.
just take off for a joyride, like, oh yeah, and all of a sudden the 737 like boom, and it's a wrap.
I'm gonna be at like 20 feet.
No, you're not, and then you might hit a building.
No, I won't.
You're gonna hit a pole.
Why do you think I'm gonna be
alright,
going so
okay.
high and so fast?
Okay, so I won't even go to the extreme. I won't even say you're not. But
Why
fam,
can't I true
No,
go?
check this out.
I can be going at the same speed as a bike, just
Bro,
like.
imagine clipping your shoulder. I won't even go to your neck. Just imagine, you just hit a turn and like you just hit it too close and you clip your shoulder. Your whole socket, your whole rotator cuff, all of it, deltoid, fucking pectoralis major, all of it, ripping off.
You're
fam.
gonna
It's a
be in
wrap.
so much pain. You're gonna fall after.
Man, why are you assuming I'm gonna be like dipping at high speed? What if I'm just going like 30 miles an hour?
Why else would you want flying
40
powers?
Bro, I don't gotta drive
No,
anywhere.
I know what he's talking about. He's talking about because we've talked about flying before,
Yeah.
and he's talking about hovering right above
Yes.
the ground, just
But
slow
I can-
hover like you a damn bumper car.
No, going like think about if like you could ride as fast as a bike, maybe 20 miles an hour.
No, that's
but, like,
too
you're
fast.
flying.
That's too fast.
That's too fast.
That's too fast, bro. 20 miles an hour.
What about if you're on a motorcycle?
20,000?
People get fucked up on motorcycles all
But
the time.
I'm hovering like at like 25 feet, 30
Bro.
feet. Like no
You have
planes.
to fucking land.
Bro, the
Blade
motorcycle,
plates are gonna hit me at 30,
motorcycle
40
is a machine that is almost kind of like a buffer. You don't really have a buffer when you're flying. It's just you. It's your body. Okay, have you ever
Why do you
hit,
think I'm
okay,
gonna
all right.
smack
I know you
buildings?
played like football, you played basketball.
Yeah.
All right, have you ever turned into somebody and didn't know that they were there?
While flying.
And that's like the wall, fam. So like you smack that, and everything on your inside keeps moving. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt, man. That's gonna break things. And unless you're invulnerable, unless your bones are invulnerable, like Superman, where you just bust through the wall like a cartoon, bro, you will break all of your bones
I had a
eventually.
perfect driving record. What makes you think I'm gonna smack into a wall, nigga?
Tell
All
that
right,
to
all
the
right. So,
tree.
so how do you think you would fly? How do you think the muscles would be? You think it would be like a plane where you pull back to pull up, or do you think it
No.
would be you go up to go up?
This is so funny.
Is it even worth it flying if all you could do is fly like standing up
Bro,
position?
nigga, I'm flying. Why do you?
Or can you go like this? I swear, this is all you're doing everywhere. I'm gonna be like, that's
standing
the most
straight up and flying forward.
That's
From
so
my
fucking
perspective,
awkward.
y'all niggas just assume because I'm flying at low speed, I'm just gonna be like this on some like sitting in a chair. Like,
He'd be like old dude in a wheelchair.
no, like I can still be flat.
Bro.
He's not completely flat.
So,
like his
do you
legs
think
are
that
still
you will
down.
be flying like how astronauts
You've never flown
float?
before without a plane. How
I'm just
fast
saying.
you gotta go to be able to be like?
Because if you're
Like
moving like
Zoom.
astronauts in zero gravity and you think that you're gonna have like that light touch where you're just like able to like touch off the walls and just kind of keep going
You
and
wouldn't
float.
go
I
anywhere
assumed I was gonna be like
fast.
Superman.
Bro,
But you're not strong
if you're
enough to,
flying
like,
at
fly-
supersonic
yeah.
speeds and you are not
you
invulnerable,
smash into
you will disintegrate.
Wait, no! I'm talking about Superman's posture.
Oh my
He,
gosh!
he,
So
he
you-
floats and
oh.
he flies slow. Like he'll fly up to a nigga in a car that's driving slow. Like, hey Walter,
be pulling up on
hey,
people,
hey,
though.
hey.
Hey,
Why'd you pull over here? It's
hey,
like,
would
you're
you
going-
feel
you're chilling.
disrespected? Would you feel disrespected if Superman just like pulled up? Because he's supposed to be like the super version
But
of
that's
man.
what I'm saying. So imagine me
So-
flying at that speed in this posture, but just like in like 40, 50 feet. You know, I ain't smacking into no buildings or no airplanes.
All I'm saying,
That's a waste of a power at that point.
all I'm
Oh,
saying,
you mad because I'm just using my power to my reasonable abilities.
do you feel like you wouldn't run
I got Black
let me ask you a
Jaguar
question.
powers,
Do
my
you feel
dude.
like you wouldn't run into anything if there weren't paved roads and you had to create your way of going?
No, because I would see it.
I think that you would cut a turn too soon sometimes.
Imagine this. My nigga Fluxy's a professional drone pilot. Shout out to you, Fluxy.
Hey.
You're always welcome back on the show. He's a fan of the show, all that show shit. Show. Gang. But he does FPV drone pilots. And he's up there flying with birds sometimes and shit. And it's like,
Does
I
he
would
ever
picture
hit
the-
anything?
That's when he tries to get technical. Yeah, he said trees, but I mean, like, when
Okay.
you're open sky though, you have no worries. And I mean, I'm about to be. Remember that movie, about the little kids or Michael B. Jordan gets zapped by fucking electricity. Chronicle. Yeah. I just wouldn't be that reckless. I wouldn't fly that high. I was just like,
yeah.
Can you honestly tell yourself that if you got flying powers, you wouldn't want to push the limits of what you can do?
oh yeah, I would try like once.
And in the
the ocean.
all it takes is just that one time.
They ain't gonna fall into the ocean.
Not in the flight plans or someplace.
You gotta like if we're really gonna think about powers in this way, you really gotta like think about how you are now. Because you're not gonna be able to make different decisions that quickly.
Yeah, you need
once
all
you
the
get powers.
You need all the physiological backings.
Absolutely.
to back-
Because you can just jump off a building trying to see whether you can fly, smack yourself, and it's a wrap.
Well, I was always.
I think if we're looking at powers in that way, I feel like maybe super strength may go the furthest. Or no, maybe not super strength, but maybe super durability.
No.
Yeah,
Because with super strength, like you could run fast and jump
Tim,
high.
it's difficult with super strength because like you socking like this, I guess you wouldn't feel, or you would feel it. Like you get fatigued,
time
but
out.
it wouldn't hurt.
Check this.
I wouldn't
Not
wanna
to cut
break-
you off.
I wouldn't wanna break my
Tim,
shit.
you'll agree with me on this though. I think it comes down to the closest equivalent would be cars. Tim, you know damn well when it came to cars, I had a turbo 240 at the time when you had your MR2 NA, and you were dipping it, pushing it way faster than the limit. But you would always say your car's faster, but I drive way faster, and that was the pushing. And you know me, I always kept my shit real, even conservative, until I
Guy
blew it
who
against
said
RA.
that he drove faster.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, so and when it comes to powers, I wouldn't be pushing my powers to that type of limit. But Tim has the personality where he pushes the limit. I'm moderate. I know my limits more so. Like, I wouldn't like. That's all I'm saying. So when it comes to cars, like me and Tim can both have a sports car. Tim will push a sports car faster and harder than I'll push a sports car.
Yeah,
Bro.
I'd break my body.
Yeah.
Bro, take an example from Peter, bro. He jumped off the building, tried to web, and landed. You know,
I wouldn't have done
on the
that.
trash
I
can.
wouldn't have done that from a building. I would have done that from like.
Eventually, you would have had to try it from a building.
But you could try it from like into a pool from like a 1-story building.
Yeah, I would have kind of like been in my like front
Yeah,
yard,
like, you
sitting,
didn't-
like
You didn't have to do
like,
that.
This might be able to work. This might be able to work.
I think I could do this.
All right, let's take it to something bigger. I wouldn't even mask off.
Imagine if his confidence had to deal with like the quality of the web. Like if you were confident, it would just snap. Like, oh,
Oh man,
shit.
yeah. there's so many things that can go wrong. You know, like it's cool that the stories are painted to be perfect, but like when you take it into this world, depending on who you are and how you get your powers and the viability, I guess, of yourself and the powers, like however it gels, determines how good you are. And I feel like a lot of people would like. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people would kill themselves before they do anything like substantial. Like they learn it. You know what I mean? Like they'll be trying to do it, and like they'll just fuck up one time, and it's over. And it's just like, damn.
It's kind of.
Have you heard of the series called The Boys?
The Boys.
Boys, is that Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Yes.
The comic book is available too. Read the comic books, but that's kind of like what you're saying of like the failure superheroes being involved.
Yeah.
I just when you said that, it popped into my head. And
well, you know,
damn.
like vigilantes are real. Like they're real people that are running around trying to fight crime.
Bruh,
it's a real thing.
Bruh. Remember when the little homie got fucking caught up? And got saved by superheroes in San Diego?
In San Diego, man.
What? The little homie?
Bro.
Who the fuck?
Bro, the homie Drew, man. The homie Drew was turned, and he was in San Diego, per his story. And and he went out, and, you know, he mouths off when he's turned, you know, and it's like, he thinks it's funny sometimes, and sometimes it is, but other times you do it to the wrong person, and there's going to be consequences. He was ready for that. And but he wasn't ready to get jumped. And as these two people were beating him up, he says that these two uniformed men came out and started beating the people who were beating him. Now, I was like, well, it was security, and he was like, nah, fam, like it was like they had armor on, like it looked like, and I grew up with this dude, so like I was like, bro, like, all right, put it on the friendship, man, like put it on everything, like. You know, I could take his word for it. It could not be true, but I started investigating after, and I was like, okay, to the internet, vigilantes in San Diego. You know, it was pretty broad, and then like I started narrowing down, and then I come across, like after going through so many links, I come across an actual database of vigilantes, and like ones that have been caught, they have their real names revealed, and like there's like actual processing for it, and I'm like, yo. Wait a minute. So Kick-Ass, the movie Kick-Ass is basically real. Like, you have people that are doing that. Oh, my
goodness.
And it tells me two things. It tells me, one, like, this world is just very big because we haven't come across these types of people. You know what I mean? Like, that means, like, the way that they're operating is just, like, we aren't accounting for these types of things that are going on. Like, and I feel like our society moves on such a schedule that it's easy to move on the off schedule. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, so it's, you know, it's, and you know, some people don't, we have day jobs, we have lives to live. But anyway, I think that this is a real thing. And I think that eventually, we will make superheroes into a real thing, whether it be technology based or whether it be accident based. We're getting to that threshold where like we're starting to tamper with things that, you know, could potentially cause something or the other to happen. And I think that people are gaining power. I think that we're going to get a real villain, you know, soon, of just like
Drake.
I don't know if it's going to be Drake. Like, I don't know what it's going to kind of consist of, but I know that there's like a lot of people just behind the scenes who move, and I just don't know their hearts, you know. And if their hearts are for, you know, keeping and maintaining a certain thing and keeping people oppressed and keeping laws in order and just things like that. I think that through technology, we're going to get an account of all of the people that are operating. Mm-hmm. So eventually this person will be revealed, or the villain will be, that will have a face, you know, whoever that is.
He has a face.
You know, my man's convincing me straight. But yeah, you know, I'm sure that there is a villain out there, and with technology, you know, you just get other stuff that are going on. You have gangs, you have different things like that. So like, I think I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime. In all honesty, I mean, we are like improving technologically pretty like quickly. You know, it's like every 5 years. You know, we're doing a jump when it used to be like every 30. Mm-hmm. And probably people are going to be like even faster than that, you know, and you can make an argument for that for sure. But, yeah, you know, so I just think that it's going to happen. So like, as we create these stories and as we make them more relatable to our real world situations. You know how life imitates art.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen, bro.
I feel you. I mean,
people are growing up with this.
I definitely agree with that because I mean, you look, there's genetic modifications going on. There's fucking AI going on. We have the threat of aliens. There might be fucking demons too.
There might be demons,
corrupt politicians.
Yeah,
all that shit, and it's
all the above.
It's all in its like base process right now. But I mean, it's definitely there.
It's improving, man.
Clones,
and
all that shit.
You got it all, and I'm sure that there were mistakes that were made, and you know we don't know how like crazy those mistakes were. Or are contained, and not contained, or didn't happen. You know, couldn't you know, nothing crazy yet. But we know radiation does things. We know like abnormal growth happens. You know, so like that's just a genetic thing. So like if we're over here growing, if we're growing our food to bigger sizes, if we're growing our meat and our produce and our animals to bigger sizes, you don't think that they try to grow humans to bigger sizes? You know, like I'm sure that those tests have happened, and if there's a juggernaut somewhere, you know what I mean? Like there might be.
Yeah, somebody is funded by Soros out there.
Yeah, like there might be, you know, there might be an Essex, you know, company out there, Mr. Sinister, like somebody who's doing that kind of stuff. Like I feel like that it all is kind of related, and the reason why we imagine those things is because they're like things that allude to it, you know, and we know the capability of the human mind, and just for the sake, inventors invent, you know, like people, like curious people can't help it. So when you have curious people in power, they like to do experiments, and you know, it all relates.
It's funny that you say that, and they do. Not to cut you off, Tim, but I mean, I want your opinion too, because I mean, this is actually your theory on simulation. We are a conspiracy theory podcast, you know, so we like to dip and dabble within that type of information. But you also said that you liked anime earlier, and you know we're fans of anime.
Yeah.
There's a particular anime that we actually have all watched. It's called Psychopath.
Yo, what a great anime,
bro.
So
that shit was fire.
Tim had brought this up in an Instagram post, and he had showed it, saying that it's coming to life. And I told him, I was like, well, we talked about this before. Yeah, but we had called it before these like articles were talking about it, and how a lot of these social systems and social media programs are all being linked into credit and, you know, end times prophecy of buying and selling, knowing who you are and what you are, and you know what you believe and what you don't believe in, and it's just crazy. So Tim, with that being said, let the blockheads know how you feel, because you talked about this earlier in an earlier episode.
Yeah, there's like even going on now is predictive policing, and there's one program called Predpol, and there's another called Operation Laser, but it pretty much marks off when crime goes off in a certain area, and it's an algorithm, so it pretty much sends police to this area at a certain time looking for pretty much people who have already been tagged, because like they're already like they're just,
it's like a check-in.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where they're just pretty much harassing the same old people over and over instead of looking for new crime. But I mean, on the same end, it's a double-edged sword, because it's like, okay, those areas are obviously marked because there is something going on with it.
Yeah.
But what's going on even further is it's not marking these other areas that you never know when someone strikes, he's going to move into a new area.
Until it happens, and then they mark that area.
Exactly. Yep. But even then, it won't get that high flow that all these areas are still going. But,
you know, dang, that's tough, man. I could see both sides, you know what I mean? Like, I could understand how we got there, because like it used to be like the sheriff just rode around. If he was around, you know, then he was around, or if he wasn't around, he wasn't around. A lot of people got killed because he wasn't around. So then now you have like our police, fast forward, and they're on a time schedule. It may be loose, you know, but they're on a time schedule. They got to be at this place at this time, you know, do the little patrol at this place at this time. They just don't really talk about it. And now they're kind of putting it out there that it's like, yo, we're going to be here at this time.
Yeah.
Like, so that's wild. Minority Report.
Yes, that's exactly what I alluded to. That and psychopaths, especially in China.
Yeah.
Like with their social credit systems.
I mean, social has exploded beyond our expectations. That, of course, it was going to be the currency. Of course, it was going to determine the new class. Like, without killing people, you'd have to establish something that everyone could subscribe to rearrange where everyone is going.
I feel you.
You know, and that's what social has been and done. You know, so like people who are like, nah, I don't really like rock with social, you're gonna be left behind. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. You know what I mean? But you'll have to cling to the old ways of operating. But the people who are in social, if you're going to be in social, you have to establish who you are in social. You know, and you have to do it in a way that hopefully it's close to who you are as a person, or else it may be hard to upkeep. You know, you notice all these other people who create all these social identities online, internet identities, and then they're having breakdowns and going to rehab and things like that. It's because it takes a lot to keep that up. And if it's not necessarily aligned with who you are as a person, then you're going to be asked out. You know, you're going to have a breakdown sooner or later, you know, or you got to pay a whole bunch of people to keep it up. So like, it's important for us as a society.
I think DJ Academics just had a little bit of a breakdown.
Bro, like you have to keep all that up, man. Like Tekashi, like you got to keep all that up. And like it's so much to do. So like you better hope that you're on, or that you get famous, or that you get known for being something that is an extension of yourself. Because if you get known for being something that isn't an extension of yourself, upkeeping that is going to be a challenge. And if you aren't successful, there are redemptions. You know, everyone loves a redemption story, but like it's gonna be tough, and like you're gonna kind of go through it. And if you can get through it, you can probably redeem yourself. But like, we know a lot of people that it's like, yo, if that person didn't do this, they would be in a different position.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And like, I think that like China's just doing it with regular people. You know, Americans, like, we'll see it as like celebrity stuff, but like other places are like, no, we're just doing that with citizens in general. And that's like more power for us, man. Like, we really have the decision before they make the decision.
But the thing is,
to
though,
establish who we are.
All these things are being put in place right now, just not as quick and as assertive. Like everything that we're doing right now, like Congress is slowly trying to make it so it's a law so you can't ban cash. But then at the same time, like, all these new industries and startups and markets are like wanting you to have a digital thumbprint and digital imprint on society. So it only comes down to who's going to become president within the next 12 years for America, because it's going to take time. But around the world, what if you travel and other countries don't let you? Like, what if we're the last holdout of that freedom of cash, and you go to Taiwan, or you go to the Philippines, or Thailand, or Europe, France, and like, no, why don't you have a card, or why don't you have a chip?
Well, I feel like that's why our our companies are the ones that are forward thinking in America, and the government doesn't like it, because the government is like, I feel like the government wants to retain the old way, and the companies like Apple and like Amazon are like, nah, fam, we need to get on this technological
I feel you.
boom.
So do you think it's better to be on a digital currency?
Nah, man. Nah.
Bro.
I don't. I come from old, man. Like, I'm down for the bartering system. Like less, because what that does is that forces you to invest in something that gives back to you. Like, I don't even like the dollar, because the dollar doesn't mean anything if you don't believe in it. you know. So, but like if I give my
Quick
energy,
intermission.
my time, and my just kind of like investment into something for someone else, and they do that for me, that's an even trade-off. You know what I mean? Like that is like, yo, because you can't get that back. You know what I mean? That's more precious than like the paper that we print money on. You know, so like, I guess like digital currency doesn't make a difference. My only issue with digital is that they could just erase it.
Exactly.
That's my issue with digital. It could just malfunction, and just say zero all of a sudden. And it's like, they can't, if they don't feel like doing anything about it, I don't have any power.
They lock it whenever they want.
And that's what sucks about it, because I would be down if like in a video game, everyone's responsible for their own pouch. But like their pouch is infinite, though. But it's
pouch.
it's just like their pouch, and it's like you can put all the money in there, and like you got it, and like it just operates for you. Like everyone should have like a personal bank, but none of those banks be connected. But all of those banks work together to trade money between one another. But like that's such a fantasy that
it's like on a universal dimensional level where you just
it's just oh man, you just take it out the pouch like Dora. Dora was low key fire for that backpack, man.
Dog, man, I always imagine if like I had that. I feel like that would be a cool like super game.
See, that's another thing. Honestly, and this is something I've been kind of like thinking about. I'd rather have an object that makes me a superhero.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be internal with me. Like if I had like some sort of magical object, like Dora had a backpack that was infinite, fam. Like how cool is that? And it was only like
map.
It was only for you. Like it was only for you, only talk to you. So like if I had like like a certain phone or something, or like I don't know, just like something that I wore, or a necklace or something like that.
Yeah.
What about Meteor Man?
I think I'd want an infinite.
He took a meteor to the fucking chest.
I'd want an infinite fanny pack.
See, boom.
I'd wear it like off to the side, and like I'll put like people like, oh, that's a gay fanny pack, and I'm like,
no, it's called a purse.
I'll pull out like a Gatling gun. And then probably not kill anybody, because then it's like, well,
no, it'd be a Gatling gun, but it'd be with pellets.
Ooh.
So you just hit them and it just fucks them up. But like it looks like a real one.
Why wouldn't you just say an infinite utility belt?
It could be a utility belt.
That'd be
cool.
I mean, I've always wanted a utility belt. I think I will get one. If I get like, like dumb cash, just like that dumb money, I will have a utility belt.
Like a Batman utility belt?
Yeah, like a real functioning utility belt that will have other things like a part of it, and that'll do, and it'll like, snap on and buckle on, and it'll be crazy.
I think I'd try to get my own Iron Man suit.
Where's my super suit?
Like it doesn't have to be completely real, but it's going to be at least a real Iron Man
like
suit.
an exoskeleton, or are you trying to be fully covered?
Oh, that'd be dope if I could be fully covered.
I know fully covered is the way to go, but I just feel like it's so unrealistic. Like
if I could be fully covered and could fly, I feel like that's good enough.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like that's good enough.
Oh, so he can fly with the exoskeleton.
Especially,
Man, look, Iron Man was fine. Okay, if Iron Man didn't, Iron Man could have made the suit without being fully covered, but he knew. Therefore, you should know.
Yeah.
If you're a regular person and you're flying,
He was
you need
fully
to be
covered because he couldn't fight.
Iron Man's always been ass at fighting.
That's why
always been ass.
Captain America beat his ass with a shield.
Bro.
Him and Bucky were fucking
beat
him
I
up.
could do
breaks
this all
off him.
day.
Well, they had to, man. Like, I would have been so pissed if, like, he low-key won that fight. Like, no.
We didn't even talk
Not in
about
the hand-to-hand.
Endgame. How'd you feel?
Oh, man.
Oh wait!
Are we
God damn
gonna
it!
go there?
We haven't seen any. We haven't
Wait,
talked
wait,
about
hold on, hold on,
Endgame,
hold on.
I got
Game of
good news.
Thrones.
One more quote about.
That's where we're going. I'm gonna use the restroom. I'm excited.
You haven't seen it?
I have seen Endgame as fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we-
all right.
so
Just
many
making
times.
sure.
We've had Endgame conversation. I better. Hey, blockheads, I'm sorry, but please bear with us. This is gonna be another epic.
This is gonna have to be a
Side
two-parter,
conversation.
man.
Because I mean, it's
It's
you
two
know,
parts, man. I
I'm
just
sure
wanted
a
to
lot of
touch on
people have
Psychopaths
seen
one more time.
Endgame. I haven't seen John Wick 3 though yet. That's something
Oh,
I
I've
gotta
seen
see.
it.
I know
It's
I
great.
gotta
It's
see
great.
that.
John Wick is the action hero we deserve.
Man, Keanu Reeves is just like the best actor. Like he has no. I hope this motherfucker doesn't come out that he's like one of these like child abusers or something, or something
Yeah.
super malice. Like
Yeah.
because I mean, his character, he rides the subway, he donates to charities.
I don't think so, man.
I think
he's cool.
He's a superhero that can take down Drake.
I think he's gonna be a super villain in the Marvel universe.
Nah.
There's a rumor.
If they did that,
he's gonna be in the Eternals.
that would be so good, but it would hurt because you'd be like, in the real life, you're a great guy.
I mean, he likes playing those characters though, because I feel like that's his release. Because in the real life, he is a great guy.
But in real life, though,
because you want to be a great guy on film and then be a great guy on in real life.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a lot of work.
Drake is the supervillain, and then Keanu Reeves is a superhero that comes to save the day.
Keanu Reeves is
I'm
going
with
back
that.
for all our sins.
He's not Jesus.
I think that's why Drake doesn't do acting, because if he portrayed anybody that got killed, people would kind of be happy. People would troll him in being happy. And I think that's messed up.
Imagine just going to his concert with a big ass
it just wouldn't be believable anymore.
Nah, it's just a big ass fucking image of him getting shot as Jimmy.
Tiger. Tiger got shot in that movie Dope.
Oh,
he was in there for that drug dealing scene. He got popped 4 or 5 times, man. It was a wrap.
Yo, have you ever seen...
You can't have that as a somewhat hated person.
Have you ever seen the Madea movie where they have Tyga in it and he's performing a song, and then they're all freaking out about these underage girls being at their frat party? And it was right after he broke up with Kylie.
Oh my gosh. They played him.
Whoa.
They played you, bro.
But you signed the contract.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably got money, so he's probably laughed to the bank, but they
Yeah.
played you, bro. You can't be in a Madea film. Yeah. I'm not a big Tyler Perry fan.
Me neither. Not gonna
or just the Madea character and what she represents and the stereotypes that she represents. I just feel like it's just very dated. It's from a time of we were trying to figure it out, but we were kind of clouded in a few things that have been shoved upon us, and I feel like we've kind of awoken out of those tropes and out of some of those stereotypes. So,
it's nigga, get your shit together, all right? You see what the fuck Jordan Peele's doing?
No, for real.
You see what these people are doing on Netflix with fucking When They See Us? We're pumping out great Moonlight. I didn't see that movie, but I heard it was good.
We're killing it right now, bro.
There's just so many dope
Atlanta.
fucking Green. What was it? Fucking the Spike Lee just got one.
Yeah. She's gotta have it.
Yeah, she's gotta have. Oh, well, no.
Have it.
When if Beale Street Can Talk.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, we got bangers coming out.
Blackish, Insecure, we out here.
I feel like even the Wayans brothers understand. It's man, we can do better.
Yeah.
And more funny than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but as you learn, again, with this social thing, all of these things can no longer be done in private. The process has to get broadcasted in some way, shape, or form. There are some people that are fighting it, and if you're big enough, you can, because you can just ignore people. But if you're on the come up, you have to show some of these things. So, not necessarily you're going to be judged for it, but you just have to be secure in it, because it's going to be a part of your social profile. And people are going to know me for being a rapper. If they start sectioning off rappers for whatever reason, rappers are confined to this area, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to deny it. They're gonna see the work on there, they're gonna put me over there and be like, nah, but I'm this, so but I'm happy to be a rapper, so whatever, for sure. But you just have to be secure in the things that you have to practice what you want to practice in private, but if you're gonna present it out there and make it a part of you, we're at a point right now where that is going to be a part of you socially. I hope within this social currency we make room for change. Ooh, that's a bar.
Yeah, it's a bar.
Mm-hmm.
In the social currency, I hope that we make room for change, because people are going to change. People are going to learn about themselves, and they're going to get better, and that is going to change them socially.
That's some shit you should tweet and just put out there in the ether and screenshot and just let niggas know that, because that's a fucking bar right there.
Yeah,
I don't remember it already, but
it
was recorded on the Blackest Hot podcast first, regardless if this shit was published on his Twitter feed. This is at 9:05 June 4th 2019. Fuck your tweet. You don't mean shit now, nigga.
Want them royalties, bruh.
But we gotta get into fucking
No
Endgame.
royalties. my
Yes,
bad.
we do.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
we don't really have to, but no, we're going to get
Yes.
into Endgame just because.
We're doing it for the 5th time.
Yes, this is someone who.
We enjoy this.
Yeah, we don't got to deep dive, get into the ball sack nitty gritty, but we can just tell our opinions if we liked it and just the basic what we didn't like and what it represents for the future. And then also a little bit of Game of Thrones recap.
Yeah.
What's your personal opinion? Because we actually, all three of us saw it together, but we haven't had a chance to sit
Yeah.
down as one
Yeah.
and actually say what we thought about it together. I mean,
Yeah.
Tim knows my opinion. Fuck him. He don't agree with me.
Let's get into Endgame.
No, it's
Talk
not
to
that I
me.
don't agree
Too
with
late.
you. It's just I get it.
Talk to
I get
me.
it.
Talk to me about Endgame.
Endgame,
Yeah.
bro. Where do you want me to start at? That
Wasn't it great?
Yes, I feel like everything it checked all the boxes as far as like seeing something that makes you laugh, makes you like go like, oh my god, get him, and then even like, yo, I almost had a few tears throughout that movie.
I was surprisingly vocal during the movie, like saying like yes, and like like oh, like and whoa, and
feel
everything
you.
like and to get that reaction out of me means that you're doing a good job. Of course, it's not a perfect movie. I can't wait to see Infinity War and watch Endgame right after. I'm totally ready for 5 hours of my favorite superheroes coming together to stop Thanos. Like, totally. I want it on a big screen. I want it almost seamless. Like, from the end, cut, boom, like,
Bruh.
5 seconds, until the next thing starts. You feel me?
Not to cut you off.
with the end scenes.
Think about how fat that check is gonna be for the either FXX or TBS whole movie Marvel marathon from Iron Man 1 up into Endgame.
People
When it's
don't
they're gonna release it on 4th of
understand,
July or some shit.
They
You
don't
already know.
understand. They don't understand.
Like the Simpsons marathons, every episode for 24 hours, every fucking Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Tim, remember
people
that
don't
time?
understand the gravity of the situation.
They're gonna show that shit on
No,
Thanksgiving.
Hey, no, nigga, Tim. Remember that time we tried to
Yes.
watch all the Lord of the Rings movies in one day
couldn't do it.
and smoke? Yeah, we all passed the fuck out.
Yeah. On the couch.
That's the
I tried to
ultimate
do
challenge.
all the Star Wars. I tried to do all 6 Star Wars.
Oh,
Yeah,
No.
same thing.
After Attack of the Clones, like you're like, all right, for sure. Halfway through Revenge of the Sith, you're dying, bro. You're just like, oh man. And then just the thought of A New Hope. Nope.
Hey,
I couldn't do it.
you know how we could do it though?
I couldn't do it.
You know how we could do it? And I know you're not gonna like this because y'all niggas know me probably by now. I'm into bikes. If you guys had bikes and rollers, because then if you're on the rollers, you're actually moving, and then you're just riding a bike in place. But on a roller, you can go as fast or as slow as you want, and you just keep your balance. And then
Nigga, do you want me to ride
are
a
you
bike
talking
for
about?
6 hours
so
straight?
basically,
In, like,
no,
spin class?
no, not straight. But I'm just saying, when you're riding, you're on the rollers, and then sit down. So like you said, because if you just sit through it,
Oh,
the whole
you're talking
time,
about doing an exercise to get you through it.
yeah, that's what I'm
Got it.
saying. So
Okay.
you have it set up so that, okay, hey, I'm falling, hey, I can't do it.
Yeah,
Hey,
do
get on the
some
bike
jumping
and just like,
jacks or whatever.
yeah, and then you're
I see
smoking
what
some
you
weed.
mean.
And it's like,
I get what you're saying.
But bro, imagine if we live streamed that for the blockheads out there and
Bro.
did a whole stream.
Me, back
Imagine that, Tim.
That'd be kind of fun.
that
You
would
have a
be-
bike,
fun.
I got a bike.
That'd be pretty fun.
Hey, that would go viral, honestly.
Watching every single Marvel movie.
I mean, you got to do other funny
Every
stuff.
single,
fam.
every MCU movie.
Every
can't do
MCU
that, bro.
movie. Yes, we could.
22.
Yes, because I know
That's-
it'll
because
be-
that's 22 hours.
I feel like
No, it's
Jasmine
not
would be
22 hours. It's 22
hey,
movies.
I feel like Jasmine would be down to help
There's
us.
22 movies. Like,
Yes, we could do it. Jasmine would be down to help us and keep us up.
It'll be
No, we
multiple
can't
days.
do that.
I tried to do Pixar.
How long was it?
I tried to do Pixar when
22
Brave was.
movies. At
It's
2
22
hours a
movies,
movie.
bro. You're
Like,
basically at 2 hours a movie.
Yeah, the
2
weekend.
hours.
No, fam, that's not enough. That's not enough time.
You said 22 hours?
No, it's
22
22
movies
movies
at 2
It's
hours.
At 2
That-
hours
that's-
on average
So
per
it's
movie.
about 44 hours.
Okay, so
Not
yeah.
including the 2-3 hour ones.
It's
at
almost
the end.
2 straight days plus. It's a little more than 2 straight days.
We'll get some sleep.
Nah, fam. No.
That could be part of the challenge.
I think yeah,
You
we
need
we-
like a week. You could do it in a week.
Nah.
You do it
No.
5 days.
No.
In a weekend.
I would want to do it. I would want to try. We can't do it in a
You
weekend.
can't do it in a weekend.
Hey, what if,
Well,
what
we
if it
have
was
to-
shifts?
You can't.
What if it was as long as someone's awake,
We'd have
someone
to.
can sleep?
We'd have to start on Friday.
Imagine, as long as someone's
Okay,
awake, someone can sleep, because we've already seen all the movies, so it's like it's
What
a
if
team.
you had to answer questions at the end of each movie?
And then
And
we
you
had.
had to pass like that, so
Oh.
you were actually watching it like you had to pass.
Okay,
and-
yeah,
and
I'd be
continue
down.
on.
I'd
That
be
would-
down.
Okay, that would be kind of cool.
And
That'd
then
be like a game
we
show.
we could set up a gamble on like Bravado or something. Like
That would
try-
be pretty tight. People like.
I want to do this. We could do
we
this.
should
be
try to
kinda
set this
tight.
up. That'd be a fire
Should
ass
we
one.
get like?
People have a buy-in, and
Should we-
whoever wins, like on when you guys would stop or whether you guys would complete it. they
Should
just
we get
bet on
2
that.
other people? Or 1 other person?
we
Just
could.
depends on the camera angles that you
We
get.
should get Jay.
Oh yeah, we should get Jay.
That would be dope.
Yeah, we should get Jay.
Shout out Jay.
Shout out Jay. But before we get sidetracked
Shout
even
out to
more,
Jay.
how did you feel just about the whole wrap up? What do you see going forward within the Marvel universe now that we
I
know we
have-
got the next Spider-Man movie coming out, and we know that the rights have been bought for X-Men. They may do some Fantastic Four,
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther movies. What do you think?
I like the way that they set up Endgame. I know a lot of people had some issues with time travel, and yeah, there are some characters that I would have liked get their just due, like the Hulk and even Black Widow. You know what I mean? But I think that where they left off with Captain America creating alternate timelines, because even though he put the stones back, in the time that they were taken, events happened, and I believe that even though that he went back to go live with Peggy, he basically went into hiding once the other Captain America defrosted and everything just kind of went again. You know what I mean? Just like the way that it went. I think it's really cool, the idea that like he's traveling throughout time, so like there'll be different movies where we could potentially see Captain America interfere with whatever's going on there, or something from what he did cause something different. And then with the announcement of the multiverse, now I say this with an asterisk because Quentin Beck is a liar.
Yes.
And Mysterio's, I don't know, man. I can't believe I don't know, but it would be such just a disservice if Disney teased the multiverse without actually having the multiverse.
I feel like they wouldn't do that.
I feel like that they wouldn't do that. Now they may do like it's not exactly what we think, and like they show us at the end that it's like in a different way. But as long as they establish the multiverse as the multiverse, then you've now allowed everything to happen.
Even if it allows
Everything
it
can happen
to come
now,
on later
and I'm
on.
totally on board with it, because I think with the multiverse, I think that's where you introduce Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four has to be more advanced than what we've seen. And
You know
the
what?
most advanced that we've seen is Wakanda and Iron Man with his nanotech.
no.
Do you
right?
want to know what would be funny though? What
Go.
What if Chris Evans got signed back on to be the Human
Hilarious.
Torch?
That would
No,
be hilarious.
that'd be fucking guts. But you know what? All right. So before, let me just get this off. Chris Evans, I believe, is going to be the new Stan Lee. He's going to, like you said, how he's been in the timeline. He can go through everything. He's going to be the new, like, kind of cameo, as in, like, oh, Cap is here. Or, like, hey, Cap. Or, like, in Spider-Man's movie, he'll probably be in France, like, with his wife, Peggy, and shit, because he's probably not going to be dead in this, like, timeline.
I don't know if it'll work in anything in the future, but most likely any past events,
Because there are...
or whatever timeline that they're in.
Just check it as, like... Also, I'm looking at all angles. Like, even Chris Evans, he doesn't want to do the Captain America role, but I think just knowing what the fandom means, I think he would be down to do
He'll
a quick
reprise it,
cameo
for sure.
just for that.
He just won't do a full
Now,
movie.
to get back on the other thing you said with the multiverse, I think that's their big ace in the hole secret
Yes.
they're keeping. Because think about it, in the whole new Spider-Man movie, Mysterio, he's not a hero, he's a villain. So
I mean, when he was introduced in the comics,
Yeah.
he posed as a good guy and double crossed him.
what would be the perfect like secret cut ending at the end credits? Some hinting of now the Fantastic Four being in this universe,
Absolutely.
and then they're probably gonna be like,
if I don't know how they're gonna write it, but we can just say in my corny version, it's like, they happen to be in some shit, or Doctor Doom. That's how he gets introduced, because he found that rift in the time portal, and he knows about, and yeah, exactly, and he knows about the Beyonder coming, or he knows about
that's a lot to do the Beyonder, but I'm excited about the Eternals, because that's where they can introduce that. You know, they can kind of go to like the origin of a lot of the power that exists in this universe. And I agree with you. I think Fantastic Four is going to be positioned to, that's why I was saying that they need to be more futuristic, because I think they will be dimension hopping. I think that the Fantastic Four will be timeline hopping. That's going to be the main arc of them, is them like not necessarily repairing it, but just the nature, because they know, and their powers will probably stem from the timeline.
What phase are we in technically?
We're about to go to 4.
We're about to go into 4 after Far From Home.
So
Really
all right, then
really
technically,
quick.
I would say then we would bring in the X-Men in 6, because I think the whole mutants thing is a part of the Sony contract. But I think when they bring in the next X-Men and then we can go on, I think they're not going to do it how it was before, how we knew them as Logan and we knew it.
I think
it's going to be
going to use Disney Plus.
I think
Yeah,
if they do that, that'd be dope. But if not, I think they're gonna pull it like they did Spider-Man, how we already knew he was a superhero, and we're gonna know them with their costumes, which is gonna be the yellow dope Wolverine, the sky, like everything's gonna be X-Men-esque. And then when you see them without it, that's gonna be like when they're undercover or some shit. Like I don't think they're gonna give us a background story because it's too played out.
Well, I definitely think that X-Men will be in a different timeline. Like it'll be in a whole different one.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Fuck, I forgot what I was about to ask. Damn, it is about the timelines. Whatever, it'll come back if it comes back.
Well, I think Fantastic Four will be the glue between everything, because they've kind of shown that they want to do cosmic and they want to do street level. You know, because you have heroes like Spider-Man that are street level, and then you have the cosmic where it's like Eternals and everything like that. No. What's something that could bridge that?
No, I got it. Just you just said what could bridge that?
Yeah.
Who did they just kill?
Cap? Wait, no.
Who did they just kill?
Iron Man?
No. Who did they just kill?
Thanos?
Who plays another character?
Oh, Cable?
Who do they need to go and bridge the time of going back in time?
For sure. That's
how
they're going to bring Deadpool in.
Now, with that being said, everything we've just talked about, I think Cable and Deadpool are the glue to bring all these dimensional, because they can bring in the X-Men if they need. Everything can be brought in through timelines of Cable and Deadpool.
Well, they said that they were
slide by two.
Yeah, they said that they were going to keep the Deadpool franchise separate. But it was going to be integrated in the MCU. Now, here my thought is that with like they only showed 2 to 3 X-Men in the Deadpool movies.
Contracts.
I understand, but what if they use that to their advantage? Because they haven't shown anybody in there, they've already established a mutant universe without the X-Men being established, really. Because the Colossus is a good Colossus, and Negasonic Teenage, she's just a good character that people like. So they won't, but like in the grand scheme of the X-Men, she doesn't really matter.
Yes.
But they've acknowledged that the X-Men exist, but they're just not there in the movie. So I think Deadpool's movie would be the take that they're going to go with introducing the X-Men. So we're going to get the X-Men in a Deadpool fashion.
I feel
okay, and then that's why
I think that's gonna be the thing.
And then you can pull in the Wolverine and the yellow suit, and like you don't need to see Logan. It's just Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's Cyclops.
And
you don't need to know.
You'll accept it because of the way that Deadpool is.
And he'll probably say it as like, you've already seen their prior movies, X-Men 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
and the prequel. You can break the fourth wall and then acknowledge it, and then we'll still be like, what the fuck? And then after that, just don't bring it up again. That's all you have to do. Because that's Deadpool's thing. Yeah. That's all you do. One time bring it up that's how they're into it, and then we can leave it as that.
Because he has his X-Force, which is Cable and Domino, and they'll probably pick up a couple of the people, right? But then he'll get into an issue where he has Colossus, and Colossus will be like, I'm going to bring the whole team. And he's like, you're bringing the whole team?
Yeah.
And like you just see them like coming off the Blackbird one by one, and he's like announcing all of them as they're coming. They're all in like the perfect costumes and everything. It'll be hilarious.
And it'll be the Marvel version. Just how we got Spider-Man
Totally.
And it's gonna be the same. Oh my god, I would love to see a Wolverine. I would love to see a Cyclops Gambit.
Yeah,
Get Gambit.
yeah. So I think, and like when I'm saying like Deadpool-esque, like the way that it's filmed, the way that the costumes are, like the slight humor and the slight like, it's not all, it's comic booky,
Slightly
but
more
it's still
violence.
kind of like real, So I think that they'll do that with X-Men. I think Fantastic Four will be the glue of the MCU as we know it, with Iron Man, Thor, and Guardians. I think Nova will be one of the
That would
keys
be
to
sick.
the cosmic, because he's going to be moving around, and I think him and the Fantastic Four, and even Spider-Man, I think that they're going to grow
And
Spider-Man
Captain Marvel.
to us, and Captain Marvel, of course, and even Black Panther.
Amazing's
I think,
Ultimate.
and Doctor Strange, so I think all of that is going to kind
They
of
can
come
make
up.
Sword.
Doctor Strange, but Fantastic Four is going to be the scientific blend of it, and through that scientific blend, because they've had a super big cosmic warrior be the main villain, it would be beautiful if they just grow their villain from a human who's trying to attain power all the way to cosmic level. And which villain would be the best villain for that?
Doctor Doom.
My man, Doctor Doom.
I
Yeah.
love that you bring this up, because I actually remember hearing that I think it was the Russo brothers. They want to do this again, but only if it's for Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in order to do Secret Wars, you have to establish those things like deep. You know what I mean?
You're gonna need maybe 15 years if you want to do Secret Wars.
Will
correct?
be another 10.
Yo,
It'll be
yeah.
another 10. We
Wait,
did
wait,
22
wait, wait.
movies
That's what I'm
in
saying.
10.
If
Like,
they
it'll be
You have
another
to do
10.
15 because Secret Wars so many different franchises.
Hold
and
on. If they
You have to have
make
Venom in it.
if they make a new Fantastic Four movie, they shouldn't even make Doctor Doom the main villain. They should just kind of have him doing his thing.
He
like,
can have his own movie.
Present him here and there, but like not really make him a big deal
Yeah.
until like. But
He
you
needs the
see his
Thanos treatment.
progress.
He
Yes.
needs Thanos treatment. Like,
Yes.
but you see the progress and you see the things that he's going. I feel like all the end credits should allude to what Doctor Doom is doing, and I feel like even some movies should have, like, even movies that he has nothing to deal with. I feel like they should have like
Have a
10-minute
small
scenes.
shout-out.
Yeah, they should just have scenes that, like, because he's the #1 supervillain. Like, I feel like Nick Fury needs to acknowledge him.
They're gonna have
I
to
feel
start
like
doing
that's gonna be-
multi-layer.
And then they have
That's how
Squirrel
they do
Girl
it.
beat him.
Oh, that'd be fire. That would be really fire. If they bring in Squirrel Girl, I feel like they'll bring Squirrel Girl and they'll make her a mutant, and then they'll throw in the Deadpool universe, and it'll make sense.
the only way they can do
shit.
this
you
now,
know, because it's so outrageous that
Yeah.
it will work. You
Nah,
know?
Yeah.
that's why the apps are going to be so killer, like you said earlier, because Disney has the budget and the dollar, and they know that if they were releasing
Well, they
like
took over.
they saw what Daredevil did and Punisher did
Yeah.
and Luke Cage.
They got the data.
If they
looked
if they
at the
if they
data.
produce movie quality shows for the silver screen, all you have to do is throw these silver screen movie characters who are already developed and then toss them into a movie, and it's like, I know who they are. I've seen their seasons 1 through 3.
and that is why Netflix is dying.
Yeah, it's gonna
And will be
it's-
dead soon.
Yeah.
Because this
They
Disney
need to have
Plus,
original content.
with the acquisitions that Disney has done, and now, because Netflix didn't change what we watch, it changed how we watch.
Yes.
And which is a beautiful thing. Like, binge watching was not a thing prior to Netflix. You know, streaming like wasn't necessarily a thing. They were one of the, as far as video streaming, they're one of the pioneers to make it into a mainstream thing. And it sucks, because the truth is, if you don't have the content, if you can't continuously generate the content, then nobody's going to really keep watching. And if your business model is off of subscribers and you're borrowing money to make your original content and there's no commercials, where else are you getting the money from?
Subscribers.
From subscribers, but that's not enough. You know, you're talking 20 million a movie. You're giving Dave Chappelle 60 million. You're giving Cat Williams, who's doing a new special, 20 million. Like,
Yeah, they can't sustain
you
that.
can't sustain that. And
Yeah.
Disney just waited for the opportunity. And not only, okay, so here's how powerful Disney made it. Like, not only did they control Netflix competitor, they also became the competitor at the same time. So they purchased Hulu. They had 60%. They just held it just to keep the money, to keep Hulu afloat, and in the conversation. until time. So to create that dynamic and make you think, oh man, they're going head to head, while Disney's over here in the corner, just like, oh yeah, we're gathering all the data here, gathering all the experiment. Okay, all right, we see that it works. We're gonna come out with our own, but we're also gonna buy this one too in its entirety. So they bought that. That's a super villain. That's what I'm talking about. This Doctor Doom level is chess. So they're over here. They bought Hulu, so they're going to be providing original content for there that will compete with Netflix. But they've now removed Disney Plus from having competition because there is no company that has the authority to use as much content as Disney does. Disney has sports. Disney has movies, Disney has Fox, Disney has the animation, Disney has original content, Disney has characters that range from 2 years old to 35. You know, it is unlimited amount of stories that they can have, and now they just provided it on a platform that you're already used to consuming.
Yeah. So
Fam, that's like
Disney Prime is going to be one of those got to get ones, isn't it?
Yeah, Disney Plus, and like it's,
Disney.
but like it really is
Disney
though, like
Plus.
because they have all 30 years of The Simpsons. Like you're gonna just be able to like stream it, binge it. You have every Disney movie ever created. You have sporting events that they're gonna have live.
And they have the archives,
and it's cheaper. They said in order for Netflix to sustain the amount of money that they are requesting to do their original content with like their business model that they have, we would be paying $30 to $40 a month for Netflix. I'm sorry, I don't think that.
Nope,
I don't think that people are in it for that.
Nope, it's gonna be. They're gonna turn to HBO. Like HBO has its own original content. Even their original content can't sustain it on this like giving it up a whole season once you do it, and then like eventually watching and binging a whole like years worth of work of content.
Netflix's competition is now the
like Hulu releases one by one.
Netflix has now been reduced to a station, and it's no longer the thing that is distributing the stations. They've been demoted, you know. So now they run with Showtime and they run with HBO, and like if they got bought by a cable company, I feel like Apple is gonna buy them. I feel like Apple's gonna buy them because they're coming out with Apple TV Plus, and they're gonna want to provide some things for it. And I think that eventually Netflix will sell for 100. You know, I feel like for like.
Dude.
No, not 100. I feel like Netflix will sell for like over $3 billion. Probably not that much. Probably less than that. Maybe like 1.5 billion.
And their values and shit. I feel like it's crazy to like watch that shit. It's like watching a universe zap another universe out of existence. It's just like this weird flow where it's just like, damn, this one's straight eating that one right now.
It's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It really is Game of Thrones.
Until Disney cuts the check, fuck Disney. But you can cut the check.
I mean, I can't say that, bro. You never know. You're going to be employed by them one day.
Like I said, when they cut the check, it's like, yo, what's up, Disney?
Yo, don't talk about Disney. We don't need that attention right now.
I mean, it's crazy that they can just provide all of their characters, all of the thousands of characters in Star Wars. Bro, they got power, man.
I'm scared of Mickey Mouse, dog.
You know Mickey Mouse is riding around, bro. Mickey Mouse is right outside that door. Riding around in the street.
He's like, yeah, I found the punk bitches right now.
A fucking goofy-sized brick just comes through the window. Like, what the fuck?
We're taking over. Yeah, nah, it's crazy, man. Like, what they're doing. And so Disney Plus is going to be the thing, you know? It's just too much content that they're providing. Like, I know when it was first announced, people were like, I'm not trying to watch Disney movies. But there's just so much more that's going to be offered.
ESPN, bro.
The only thing that you won't get is like the real. You won't get like the real shit. I don't think Disney's gonna be producing like the realest documentaries or like. I feel like they'll be really mainstream. They'll be polished. They'll be nice. That's where you're gonna go to Netflix. That's if Netflix is smart, they'll still be the people's champ if they provide content where people are still learning about the real world. Because Disney's about to turn this whole thing into a fantasy.
They're probably going to sell out.
Have all the comedy specials.
No, they're probably going to sell out like Vice did to a cable company.
No,
get
Apple's
a channel.
Gonna buy them, bro.
No, they'll do both. Probably do that too. But like Vice, they have like their own channel on the cable networks.
Yeah.
A little bit of watered down content. Netflix will probably do that too because they're the only thing right now that was competing with like HBO as far as fire content.
Yeah.
Until Stars and Showtime start stepping their game up with like The Shy and Power and like Ray Donovan and those older shows. HBO is the killer for content. Like
Yeah, HBO. HBO is providing amazing original shows right now. They're on fire. Netflix has original shows too, but it's crazy because Netflix provides so many different types of original shows that it's hard. I think it will always be an app that like people will want content from, and they got The Office, so that contract with The Office works in their favor too because people love that show. So as long as they got that on there, what I feel like Netflix needs to do is they need to talk to Will Smith and get Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh,
If they get the entire season of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on Netflix, that will sustain. I think that they honestly, I think that they should pander to the black community. I feel like they should have every single dope black show that has ever come out available on Netflix to watch reruns of, and I think that they will save themselves because the black community will support Netflix.
definitely.
They will support Netflix.
They put Martin on.
If they put Martin on, Different Strokes, and they put like
The Hughleys,
just like
Parkers.
everything, bro, like stuff off of UPN, like
Parenthood.
1-on-1, like yes, you need it all. I want the
My
Proud
Brother and
Family
Me,
on there. I
Cousin
need,
Skeeter.
Yes.
shit, that's so Raven.
That's
Well, the thing is, Nickelodeon. See, a lot of that's
Oh,
a Raven's
yeah.
Disney, but like My Brother and Me, I believe is Nickelodeon, and
What about the Parenthood?
Nickelodeon has a deal with Hulu. Disney again.
What about the Jeffersons? What about Good Times? That's my fucking ringtone.
Yeah, literally every
Moesha.
every black
Moesha.
influence like show movie needs to
The
be on
smart
Netflix
guy.
in order
Steve
to
Harvey
save
show.
Netflix. And then murder documentaries. That'll save it too.
The Bernie Mac show.
The Bernie Mac show. That's on. I think
Rest
that's
in
on.
peace, Bernie Mac.
Yeah, that's on
that's on-
Showtime. I think.
Yeah, Showtime or Stars.
Yeah,
One
I
of those.
just seen it up there.
Still needs to be on one place, unified.
And
It's
then
crazy, man.
and then they need to keep their anime too.
We have one.
Yeah,
And
they're
Bebe's
starting to make
kids.
they're starting to make more original anime. And like I don't know, man, Crunchyroll has been disappointing me. I feel like they need to update their interface and update like
I
what
mean,
they're
You know what we
doing.
need?
Yeah, I haven't used
Static
Crunchyroll.
Shock and Fillmore.
Bro,
Bro,
I
they-
got DC Universe for Static Shock. I'm
Oh.
paying monthly, literally, just to watch Static Shock
That's
and the
not-
new DC animated movies that come out because they're way better than their live action movies.
Wait. What is Static Shock about to be in as far as the animated movies?
He's in Young Justice, so we're waiting for the second season of Young Justice to come back.
haven't
I mean,
watched that one, I don't think.
the second half of the third season of Young Justice.
Okay, he came in late. Like he came in right around then.
He's going to be coming in because he's been like he's
see.
been teased,
I seen the first season of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
so he's going to be coming in.
Okay. Well,
So yeah, but you can watch all of Static Shock on there.
no, I really
It's great.
like their animated movies. Those shits are so fucking dope.
DC needs to get it together, man. Like they have so many properties that they can do, and like they're just messing around with like their like starting 20, and it's like you guys are sucking at establishing your starting 20. Like,
Yeah.
just
yeah.
make a Static Shock movie, make a Batman Beyond movie, and make it good, and we'll all be happy.
Batman Beyond.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they did a new remake of
With,
Batman.
shit.
with
Beyond.
Michael Keaton,
Ooh,
bro. If you had Michael Keaton playing old
shit.
Bruce, fam,
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Fuck,
It would be
that would be
amazing.
so fucking.
it'll be
gangster.
amazing. It would be the most amazing thing that we've ever seen.
Who'd play fucking what's his
who'd
name?
be Terry?
Terry.
I don't know.
Michael B. Jordan.
No.
I'm down.
Well, that'd be pretty cool, but
I wouldn't mind
I want like an
a race switch with Terry. I wouldn't mind.
oh, it'd be fucking dope if it was the guy from fucking what's his name? Ray Redemption.
Not Tony Jaa. Rama.
The main
Fuck,
character.
That's his movie
Nah,
name.
Yeah.
but that's not the type
But
of
he's
fighting.
Yeah.
but he's too.
that-
Oh, I know, but it would just
would
been. I think he would be able to be that cool guy, but
Nah,
The problem
actually,
with Terry is that he kind of acted like he was like a Tony Stark.
yeah,
Like,
it
he
kind
was
of needs
like-
to be someone young.
yeah.
Yeah. I wish it was like Keanu when he was young.
Oh, that would have been.
That would have
gangster.
been hard. Like,
That would have been
That
dope
would be
as
super
fuck.
hard. Or
Yeah, I
like,
don't know, like
Joseph Gordon-Levitt when he. I feel
Yeah,
like that
no,
would be pretty
yeah,
tight, but
yeah.
he's too old now.
Yeah,
way too
what
old.
if they get Andy Samberg? No,
He could be
not Andy
Nightwing.
Samberg. What's the other one?
I don't want Andy
No,
Samberg.
not Andy
Fuck.
Samberg.
I don't know
The other one, the littler one than him. It might be Michael Cera. De-evolutionized.
No, it can't be Michael Cera,
No.
bro. You can't be it.
Fucking just get him jacked.
Justin Bieber.
Get
Nah.
him really dedicated to
Hell
the role.
no. Oh no. I don't know who could play a good Terry. I feel like it'll be.
Oh, it could be the nigga that's playing Batman now when he was younger.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Actually, he would be a cool Terry.
He could have played a good Terry.
If they did the same. Well, I'm okay.
How do you
I don't
feel
know
about
about you
that?
guys. I'm super excited.
Are you?
Yes.
I'm
I'm
hey,
interested. I'm interested.
I'm excited because they are not necessarily focusing on the action with this Batman film.
I feel
It's
what
a
you're saying.
detective film. So this is going to be a drama. And like the way that they're doing it is they're putting Batman at that perfect age of all of his villains being established, but you don't have to make it so that he's thwarting all of them.
yeah.
You know, a lot of movies they lose it because they're like, oh, we have 3 villains, so we have to make all 3 of them have a problem, and then you solve all 3 problems. It's like, nah, fam. Like, you can have multiple villains in a movie.
We
They're
nigga, we
just
know
in
these
it.
fucking villains already.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like they're just in it. You know what I mean? So like we know all of Batman's villains. So it seems like that they're gonna throw at least 4 or 5 of his main villains as already being established, and he has to go to them in their own respective territories and layers and things like that to solve this case. And like it's just gonna be dope because you know the conversations he's about to have with like the Riddler, like having him having to solve a riddle while he's also trying to solve the
that's
big
gonna be
thing.
fucking dope.
Bro. It's
Who do-
gonna be sick.
Who do you think would be the main villain? The Joker or Ra's al Ghul?
the Joker.
See, I don't think it'll be Raish because I feel like Raish brings out his ninja side and like his more like attacking, saving Gotham side, and I feel like even with Joker, it's more of that attacking, saving Gotham side. I think that they're gonna play more to the mob, but it's gonna be like Two-Face and Penguin and Catwoman
and they're working for the
and
Joker.
like their minions and like you know it might be like not Brother Blood but what is it, Mayhem, the religious dudes, you know,
okay.
like it might be some occult, you know, like villain that's involved, or I you know, I
it'd be
think
dope.
it's like along those lines. Riddler I would love to see.
It'd be dope if they went into the sorcery and had him figure out something with like the dark DC.
Well, that's another take on Batman that we haven't seen live action. So if this tanks, that's another way of doing it. That's another reason why I like it is because they're finally. I feel like this movie would be worth calling it the Caped Crusader
I feel that.
because he's really, or like Detective, you know, Batman, or like whatever it is. Like I know they're calling it like
I
the
think they're
Batman.
gonna kind of like change up the style a little bit to kind of like remember
Well, you remember the animated show, The Batman? I feel like that's what
the
they're
one that
doing.
Jose loved.
Yeah,
That's
it's amazing.
Oh, so you read my mind.
Yeah.
But I think what they're doing is
The very
they're
memorable
almost kind of. I think they're going to be building in reverse, and I don't think they're going to ever say it, but I feel like Joaquin Phoenix's character, he's setting the tone because every other universe has always tried to be about the hero. No, let's build this one about the Joker, and I think when Batman's character is introduced, it's on a whole different scope. I think the Joker movie, and nothing's been made. It's going to be left on a cliffhanger. The cliffhanger is going to be solved within the new Batman movie that makes you realize, okay, because that's how it was in Gotham. Like, Joker was running this shit because he was so crazy and wild. But I think everyone else is going to be kind of practical, but still, like, not necessarily like Batman and Robin or Batman Forever, like super comic booky, but it's going to be a superhero movie.
Yeah.
But
It's-
real,
Yes.
you know?
It's gonna be like Arkham Knight, basically. Where,
Yes.
like in
Oh,
Arkham
yeah.
Knight, you had to
Yeah.
go to all of the layers and solve whatever you needed to solve, and you pieced it all together. That's literally what we're gonna see.
Yeah.
We'll put
And
Von
like,
Solomon Grundy.
I don't care who you put in the cowl, like as long as they're the appropriate age and look of a Batman who would be going through that, I'm on board, man.
Yeah.
I'm on board. I'm totally with it. I think it's
that.
gonna be sick. and like that's using your properties correctly. You don't have to necessarily make this whole universe like how Marvel did, although it would be great. But what you need to do as far as DC, because you don't necessarily spend time with the backstory of the character aside from the trio of Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, and now more so the Flash, because he's the show and everything, so like they're working him in, and Aquaman, they're working him in. They already do amazing things. We don't relate with them. We just want to see him do the dope amazing things. You feel me? Like I would be so down that the opening of Batman is him like in the Batwing, like flying, and like he's like talking to Alfred, and then like he like ejects and like come out and like it's a heist that he's doing, or like breaking into a heist, and it's like, yo, he's already Batman,
bro,
like
just doing
from the
something.
get go, like it's
That's
crazy.
how that's like, honestly, I love the Batman of Val Kilmer. I love the one Michael Keaton. And that's how it was. Like when those movies started, we didn't have to get no fucking background. We knew, okay, his parents died. This is Batman. We saw him kick ass from like the opening scenes, like a dope chase. Like the origin story is done. Like we know these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like
especially
like
with
Spider-Man.
DC, because like unless you can really humanize the character and make us care, most of DC's characters are out of our like comprehension. That's why people resonate with Batman so much. And Batman is a ninja detective that could bench 1,000 pounds, orphan philanthropist billionaire. And that's the only one that we really relate with. Because we can't relate with Superman. He's an alien. Can't relate with Wonder Woman. Can't relate with Aquaman. Maybe Barry Allen, but like not really. He's like the next one in line. And that's why Batman and Flash's relationship is so dope. And people connect with that, because they're the only like humans, you know what I mean? Like other shit, like they're not humans. Marvel, on the other hand, they made you care about the person in the mask, and the person in the mask and whatever happened to the person in the mask is what caused the superhero or the supervillain. You feel me? And that's why we could relate with a Peter Parker. We could relate with a Victor Von Doom, like trying to do stuff in the way you would attain power. So DC just needs to give it to us, man. Like fuck all the origin shit. Like no, just have everybody who needs to be there and make them fire when we see them,
and keep adding them, and keep
adding
adding
them,
more and more
keep
people.
adding them.
Yes,
I would love to see Justice League Unlimited done, but like you can't do that in like a real, like trying to ground that. Like you can't try and ground that. No, it needs to be fantastical. They have a fucking big ass satellite, in the like off world. The president knows, like they've been briefed, like they got the codes or everything. I don't want you guys trying to figure that out. I don't want a whole 30-minute scene of the legality of that happening. No, I don't care. Have it so that we can see everything that we want to see,
I'm trying to see that Black Adam versus Shazam movie when it comes out. Or even that Black Adam movie.
Yeah, Shazam wasn't bad, but it was, I wanted
more from it.
I wanted more from it too, but it could have been a disaster.
Yes.
It could have been really bad.
It was a nice introduction to him, since he is part of the Justice League. They also need to bring in John the Martian.
The Green Lanterns have such a compelling story that they're like... And it's
their own shit. It's
crazy that they haven't done it again before Marvel figures out who theirs is going to be. Because we thought it was going to be the Nova Corps, but they kind of made the Nova Corps like more comic relief and silly because they're going to just stick with Nova. You know, they're not going to make the Nova Corps a whole thing. So that leaves like something that we haven't seen before that we can't get out of Marvel open. And DC needs to say like, yo, we need to fast track this Green Lantern Corps, movie, because it'll be amazing. And everybody wants Jon Stewart because my man's a boss.
Jon Stewart.
Yeah, he's Green Lantern.
Jon Stewart, yes, Jon Stewart. I thought you were talking about an actor. I was like, wait.
Oh no.
I was thinking about the dude that did that comedy show. Something with Jon Stewart.
Oh yeah, the political guy.
Yeah, I was like, well, we want him to be Green Lantern.
How do you guys feel about Finn from Star Wars, right? The black dude.
Yeah,
I forgot what his real name is. Boyega, I believe. How do you feel about him being the new Blade?
Is he gonna be the new
I could rock with
Blade?
that.
There's no rumors or anything, but I just feel like if you were gonna cast a new younger Blade and you needed a star, he would be the one to pick.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I could rock with
He
that.
has the whole look. He would look like
Shape
a
up
young
the
Wesley.
fade.
Yes, he would look like a young Wesley.
Throw some
Snipes.
sunglasses on him.
Yes.
But will he have the moves of Wesley?
I mean,
They
he
will
won't
edit
be
it.
as slick as Wesley,
They'll
but like
edit
it. You can train him.
he'll be funnier than Wesley, or at least we'll try to be.
Do we want
Wesley
funny in our Blades?
Well, you're getting funny regardless, bro. Like
Because
Marvel
that-
has established that funny is going to happen, even in Endgame and like Infinity War, where like the universe is dying. They still are throwing in jokes.
Because the first Blade was a pretty serious movie,
Oh, yeah.
and then like the second and like the third, you start noticing he had more of a personality.
Yeah.
Like he'd start smiling and laughing and shit. Like, huh?
Yeah.
But
Hey,
yeah,
you know, with all of this talk, people aren't even like Sony is up to the Morbius movie now.
Morbius.
Yeah, they're doing Morbius the Living Vampire. You remember?
Oh,
you remember the
yes,
old OG, the '90s
yes,
Spider-Man cartoon, and then
yes,
Felicia, yeah. Felicia Harding.
I need plasma.
I need plasma. Fisk, he promised me. Classic, man. That was my childhood, bro. Like you could adapt like any story arc in that animated show into a movie, and it would make $1 billion, man. $1 billion.
Dude, I remember they had like an hour special for Carnage.
Yeah.
Do you remember that shit?
They,
Oh
a couple
my
times,
God,
bro.
yes.
They had Carnage come back,
Yes.
and he did the little time thing, and he absorbed Peter,
Yes,
and was
yes.
like Super Carnage.
Oh my God, bro!
It was crazy,
That show was the titties.
bro. And then it capped off with like him, like. Okay, so I'm glad that we're talking about this because I think it's a travesty that we haven't seen Madam Web.
Yes.
In any iteration of Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
I want Madam Web so bad.
They're not ready for that. You have to introduce so much more content before you can just dump. Because like
The cosmic world.
Yeah, we got.
We just
into the
we just don't.
Spider-Verse.
Okay, so we're getting Shield Tech Spidey. We haven't gotten Cosmic Spidey, where like
Ooh,
he
shit.
messes around with Doctor Strange more. He has Madam Web. The Beyonder knows about him.
That might
Secret
be
Wars.
That might be some shit hint to like at the end of this new movie coming out.
I hope
Like
so.
Have you ever read Superior Spider-Man?
no.
Where Dr.
Dr.
Octopus
Octopus?
becomes Spider-Man?
Yeah, he invades his body.
Yeah.
I haven't read all of them, but I've read the synopsis. I haven't like read it though, but it's dope. His suit that he gets is fire.
Yes.
And on the Spider-Man game, there's
gets
3
it.
more spots that are open. So I'm hoping.
Shit.
I know that they're gonna do a Far From Home suit for sure. I just don't know if they're gonna do the black one, the stealth one, or like something else. But speaking of which, if you guys have a PlayStation,
Spider, right?
yeah, oh yeah, he's rocking that like because that's Tony.
In
I feel like he's gonna lose that
Yeah.
suit.
He's wearing it in Far From Home, but he doesn't.
He goes
per
back,
the trailers. Right? Per the trailers, he doesn't bring the suit with him to where he's going. So Nick Fury shows up and he has a suit for him, and it's like a shield suit, you know. And like I think he's gonna have access to Tony's tech because in the trailer he has Tony's glasses, which like we know can see different things and activate different things. And then he was like with Happy, and he had like this like gauntlet thing, like this holographic gauntlet thing on his hand. So I think that that we're gonna dive into Smart Peter, like really smart Peter, where he's gonna start like he's gonna be a kid in a candy store and just start building a whole bunch of stuff. So
These movies are getting better and better and better.
they really are, bro.
What's hilarious to me is everybody's like, "Oh, I'm so glad I seen Endgame." They just need to stop now.
I know.
They need to stop.
I
I'm
know.
like, no.
They have no idea, man.
You have no fucking clue. That's not where it ends.
And even with all the plot holes, like they're all intentional.
yeah,
They made intentional plot holes so
feel
that
that.
they can continue this. Like, there's no way to make it 100% perfect. You're gonna miss things. You have different writers, you have different people, but like they made these plot holes to intentionally go back and create things that will fill these plot holes. So I'm totally on board. If you have, and they hit it from 2 directions. They had Cap going back in time and setting off however many timelines he did, and they have the introduction of the multiverse. Like,
Yes.
fam, like it's crossed in so many ways that you can. we'll be able to see everything.
Yes.
Like, for all you people who care about Nick Fury being black, you're gonna get a white Nick Fury. Like, it's gonna happen.
That'd be fucking crazy.
It's gonna happen because they're gonna show a different timeline and where Nick Fury's white, and they're gonna be like, "Wait, Nick Fury," and he's gonna have the eye patch. It's gonna be a different story. So anybody who didn't like anything about any movie, it can now be changed
Yeah.
to a way, or you can additionally see the way that you like it.
Yes.
And that should excite everyone. That alone excites me. I'm like, they're gonna continue this forever. Like, it's a wrap now.
They need to just make some fire ass video games now.
That's, bro, E3, Marvel's Avengers, Square Enix,
Yeah.
EDS Montreal, bro, Crystal Dynamics.
It's coming out.
It's
coming out.
amazing.
What, have you seen the trailer for this?
All there is just an announcement trailer, but there's nothing that we've seen. We have no idea what the game is, but based off of Sony's Marvel Spider-Man, which was a phenomenal game, and if you have a PlayStation 4, you should own that game. That is a must own. It is amazing, the world, the Marvel world that they've crafted around Spidey, and the age that they put him, and where they put everybody, because they have the Avengers Tower, they have the Sanctum, they have Wakanda, the Wakandan Embassy. So if they're making a Marvel's Avengers game, and the Spider-Man game was just New York, I am hoping, my little heart, my 6-year-old heart is hoping and praying that they are making an immersive RPG role-playing action game where you'll be able to travel not only the world in different cities, but different planets as these characters, customize them, equip them, and go through this whole entire comprehensive story and play this wonderful game with all of their powers at the maximum that we can imagine them to be at.
That's fucking
And
sick.
then add a new game plus.
And then add a new game plus, because Spider-Man has a new game plus. So, like, yeah, and then you have your DLCs. And you have all these characters. I don't care if we can create a character. I don't care if we're playing against or playing as all these other characters. But me and my homie Victor in 2010 came up with this game. This game that we are about to see, or like Marvel's Avengers, we came up with it. We called it Marvel Wars. And it was about being a first-person action RPG of you playing. We envision Cap running, and you got the shield in the right hand, and you're flinging it, and like it's we thought of the whole thing. So I'm just so happy that Marvel has wised up and said, you know what, we need to create a gaming universe because we need to take over gaming, because gaming is exploding, especially in the money sector and like sports betting and esports and everything like that. They need some stock in there, and I'm just so excited for the reveal for E3. I will be glued to that reveal.
Fucking sick.
I'm gonna be glued to that reveal, and whoever's going, you're great. Like, good for you. But that is gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna be an incredible game. I think that it's gonna blow everybody's expectations. Like, whatever you think is gonna happen, like, it's gonna be one of those games where it's so in depth and so detailed that like it would be good enough for just one character, but we're gonna see that depth and that detail for like maybe 15.
That'd be dope.
Like we're gonna see it for so many. Like, for sure Black Panther's gonna be in it. For sure Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
For sure Iron Man. Like, and what, in the iron suit? You know how many suits are in Spider-Man? I can only imagine the different looks and different suits for Captain America, for Thor, for Hulk. Like, fam.
What if it kind of brings a GTA type of vibe where like you have three characters like all doing one mission and you could switch between them to do different shit
and you
really
equip
quick.
them and you increase, and like you see the changes. Like, I want a futuristic Cap, like full future suit, holographic shield. Like, going, like, oh man,
I might want Rune King Thor to play as. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You could be King Thor, you could be Thunder God Thor. It would be different stuff. Like, you'd have like Hulk, like Crazy Hulk. You'd have like Professor Hulk. You'd have everything that you'd be able to get. And I think that they're gonna do it, bro. I think that they're gonna do it. I think that the gaming mechanics, because these are the same people that made Tomb Raider. That means Hawkeye will be fire. That means the archery for Hawkeye will be fire. I think that the weapon system is going to be great. It's just going to be such an amazing game, and I think that it will take Game of the Year until GTA 6 comes out.
Well, shit, man. That's going to be one of those crazy surprises, but
Yes.
fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
We
Next
laid that
week.
shit down.
It's coming close, man. Next week.
It's coming close, but damn, that was epic. I'm not gonna lie, man. I just saw the time right now. We just hit almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. This is definitely like our longest podcast.
Squad. I'm sorry I talked too much.
No, it's not even that.
Yeah.
This is great content, but my camera is gonna run out of film for 4K soon at about 2:30. So I was like,
all right.
so, before we go ahead and wrap out,
Yeah,
thank you to all the blockheads that happen to make it to this podcast and make it to the end.
Shout out to Blockheads.
Give them some air horns on that shit.
I don't have nothing
No,
plugged
no
in
air
right now.
horns.
No.
Come on, man. See, that's why we need another person who's here to make sure everything's
Yes.
plugged in and accessed at the time that it needs to be accessed.
We need like a.
Shout out to all the blockheads.
There we go. Nah, shout out to y'all, man. You know,
Shout out to you.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it,
My
man.
voice
We're
cracking.
all on the grind here. You know, we're all trying to do it, and we can't do it without y'all. And I just appreciate being able to speak on this platform, man, and just get my thoughts out. And I'm excited for what the future holds, man. The
Yes.
block is hot.
The hottest block.
Yeah, so again,
Oh wait, I
make sure to
forgot.
follow us on our Discord platform. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Block is Hot Podcast, YouTube at The Block is Hot Podcast. That's THA Block is Hot Podcast. And Tim, drop your social media shit.
Yeah, the Block is Hot podcast. Follow me at It's Tim Red Hose, and you know this is always the hottest podcast on the block.
And young Thascool.
Yo. You guys can find me everywhere at Thascool, THASCOOL. Or you can type in Noreik Thascool on Spotify, and you will find my music. Shout out to everybody who listens and who plays and who shows up to the shows. Like, I wouldn't be anything without you guys, and I do it for y'all. And I just want to see us in magical places doing the same thing, because what we're doing is great. We just need to do them everywhere. And I'm excited for that and what the future holds. So you guys can find me there. And then also, I just want to plug. I got a podcast too. It's called Sound Flick, and we discuss
Nice.
music and movies as well. Do music and movie reviews. So we have 2 episodes out right now, but we're just starting it. Shout out my man Sincere and Skywalker Mike,
Hey.
my 2 co-hosts. And, so yeah, you know, we keeping it all in the family, man. We're trying to grow all these numbers. And if you guys liked any of our movie talks throughout this podcast, there's definitely more of that on the Sound Flick podcast.
Yo, I do
Fuck
got
yeah.
something to plug. I almost forgot about this show. Yo, come out Sunday night to Characters at 6 p.m. for the punk comedy mashup. Yo, shout out to the hostess, Angel Hara.
Woo!
Had her on the podcast before. Not this one, not before this one, but like 3 weeks ago.
Hey, squad.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Come out, get some drinks, have some fun. It's going to be a dope-ass show.
Yes, it will.
Always is. Blockheads.
Blockheads.
Ooh, ooh.
Well,
Yeah, what's up with that song?
I have this song that I can play, but I don't know if y'all are gonna rock with it because I'm just in that kind of villain mode.
Play it, bro.
Is
I
it
mean-
Drake?
Scary hours.
What's that?
I don't know what that is.
Yo, we're hearing
Gonna
like
play
the
it?
next door neighbor or something.
I think it's gonna be my neighbor. All right.
Keep it down over there.
Good night, blockheads. We love y'all. Peace.
He'll sting you with his dreams of power and wealth. Beware of Scorpio.
Are we really rocking out to this one?
Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. That's what you chose for us.
I was just joking. I can't let it be the last song.
What's that Poochie rap song?
Okay, hold up.
Yo.
Hold up.
Ba- 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 mm, mm, mm. The Hood'll Take Me Under.
Mm-hmm.
Play that song.
The fuck is
I'm
that?
hungry. I want to heat up my food.
Yeah, I like to go home and
What song?
eat. The Hood'll Take Me Under.
By who?
Always the Hood will take me under. I don't remember right at this moment. I think MC8. No, not MC8.
Oh, you want to go old school?
Yeah, old school. Let's do it. Let's hook it up. A One Punch. Yeah, that song was a bluff. We didn't get the vocals on it. I won't lie. I feel like we smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah, there were some like pauses, parts.
Yeah.
I just feel like I talked a lot.
Yeah. Oh, is the sound still on?
Yeah,
They
of
still
course.
got the sound on? Everybody's listening to this.
Oh, there.
What's up?
Now you guys know how we really feel.
I don't think this is it.
We're stoned.
Yeah.
Alright, well, fucking play Tipping on Fofos. Still tipping on Fofos.
In 4 Vogues.
Wait, wrapped in what?
4 Vogues. Folk tires.
Oh. Oh, shit, they're rocking Volks?
Mm-hmm.
These motherfuckers. Still tipping on Fofos. Wrapped in Fofos.
Fuck it. Powwow.
Why'd you just
Ooh.
tip?
Oh.
A little grain, I'm dipping.
Catch me lane, switching with the
I forgot the
game.
song I was gonna play.
Turn your neck, yo, dame missing.
Hey.
That's not Mike Jones.
Yeah, play that.
All right.
Ooh, we got you guys. It took us a while, but
Peace out, motherfuckers. My blockheads, we love you. Till next week. Tune in.
Now look who creepin', look who crawlin', still ballin' in the mix. It's that 6'6" long dick slim nigga sticking your chick. Pulling tricks, looking slick at all times when I'm flipping. Bar sipping, car dipping, Grant Wood grain gripping. Still tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos, pimpin', fo hoes, and no packin', blowing on that endo. GameCube, Nintendo, 5% tint, so you can't see up in my window. These niggas don't understand me, cause I'm boss hog on candy. Top down at Maxis with a big Glock 9 handy. Pieced up, creased up, stand dressed to impress. Big boss belt buckle under my Michelin S. Oh, Gucci shades up on my braids when I escalade. When I'm riding spree wheel sliding like a escapade. I got it made, the big boss of the North. Ain't shit changed, I still represent Swisher House. Huh? Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping fofos and I'm packing fofos. Still tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping fofos and I'm packing fofos.
Fofos, I'm tipping. Wood grain, I'm gripping. Catch me lane switching with the paint dripping. Turn your neck and your dame missing. Me and Slim, we ain't tripping. I'm figure flipping and syrup sipping. Like do or die, I'm pole pimping. Car stop, rims keep spinning. I'm flipping drop with invisible tops. Hose bob with my drop step out. I'm shaking the block with 418s. Candy green with 11 screens. My gasoline always supreme. Got Dodo the brand with a pain of lean. It tastes grinding to be a king. It tastes grinding to be a king. First round drop piece coming. Who is Mike Jones coming? Slab shining with the grilling woman. Slab shining with the grilling woman. I'm Mike Jones. Mike Jones, the one and only. You can't clone me. Got a lot of haters and a lot of homies. Some friends and some phony. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me.
Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping fofos and I'm packing fofos. Still tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos. Tipping fofos and I'm packing fofos.
What it do is power wow, I'm the people's champ. My chain light up like a lamp, cause now I'm back with the camp. I'm crawling similar to an ant, cause I'm low to the earth. People's feelings get hurt when they figure out what I'm worth. I got 84s poking out at the club, I'm showing out. I'm a player, ain't no doubt. Hoes wanna know what I'm about. Biggest diamonds off in my mouth, princess cuts all in my chain. Wood grain all in my range, dripping stains when I switch lanes. Switch the name, it's still the same. Switch a house or switch a blast. Mike Jones, he running the game and magnificent by this cash. Michael Watts, he made me hot. Hard work took me to the top. G-Dash took me to the lot. He wrote a check and bought a drop. I got the internet going nuts, but T-Ferris got my back, so now I'm holding my nuts. It's power wow, baby. What you know about me? I'm on that 5-9 South Lee, baby. Holla at me.